Hey guys, how's it going? So, it's been a while since I streamed. I know I mentioned it towards the end of my last couple of streams I did do a while back, but I was having some pretty severe health issues, so I decided to just take some time off from streaming to get my health back in line. But today I want to jump straight into IS3. I did start up a run just a little bit ago, and then my OBS crashed. So I figured we could just continue where we left off. Nothing really interesting happened, it was just kind of discovering some new stuff. They've changed quite a lot about it. They added like this neurodegeneration, which seems to apply to an extra operator every single time, freezes somebody. We've got some pretty decent collectibles. They've added some new ones, like the good old McDonald's Burger King bag. But we'll just hop back into it and see what we can do. We're on the 3rd floor, and we'll just see how things go. I've been enjoying Arknights a lot recently. I thought about coming back for the Texas Altar event because she's my favorite character, and I did get really lucky with this event. I ended up getting a max potential Texas Altar. I got 1 penance. I did do a full like 330 pulls, and then I actually got Passenger and Aya as like the 2 off rates I got, which was crazy good because my account's been missing some solid casters for a long time outside of like Golden Glow and Dusk. But we'll see. I'd like to hop back into streaming. We'll see what we can do, maybe once or twice a week. We'll definitely be streaming a lot of IS3. I don't know what else we will do. I mean, there's some games that I just enjoy doing off stream, like when we've done previous events on stream, I haven't read most of the story because it takes forever to do so. And there's games like Fire Emblem Engage I chose to play off stream as well. But we'll definitely play a lot of IS3 on stream. And we'll just hop right into it. We just finished a fight. Grabbed Shelter upgrade. We're definitely going to be using strong operators as much as we can early on, because I have no idea what we're running into and I don't want to die. We lost 2 lives immediately on a stage that I just completely messed up on. And I just wasn't expecting what had happened, but so far we've got a pretty solid squad built out as well. So, sorry you guys can't see the beginning of this run. My fault. I think I didn't update my OBS because I thought it wasn't going to be an issue. And then I looked at the update once my whole setup crashed, and I was like, oh, it specifically says there's something here for a crashing issue. Which, to be fair, had been a while. But it seems like they've added a bunch more different events. These dice rolls seem to affect not just who's getting this neurodegeneration, but a couple other things as well. Like, we dice rolled and got a glass bird at one point. We'll see. I think we have... I feel okay on dice rolls. I think we do have... So I don't know if they changed this to like the max hope and hope system, where it just tells you what your original max HP was, so you know how much HP you've lost over the course of a run. But I feel okay on life points, to be honest. It does seem like experience, I was talking about experience, and ingots feel like they're much slower to gain. Experience I don't quite understand. Ingots I get just because people were doing the most cracked runs with like Chalice. I don't even know if Chalice still exists. Most of the relics that existed before in the previous 2 integrated strategies do seem to still be there. But I'm actually going to take the promotion voucher and just go ahead and promote, I think, Spectre. Because Texas Altar, I think, functions a lot better. Like, obviously Texas Altar and Spectre Altar are going to do much better with their E2 and module and everything. But the amount of value you get out of the Doll Keeper form from Spectre Altar is insane. Especially with the X module. We'll get her upgraded as soon as we can. See the Rogue Trader. Longevity could be good. I'm actually going to take the Medic voucher. And grab... I was using Telopsis for a long time. But I actually think Perfumer's super underrated. I've been trying out more and more lower rarity units in this mode, and I've been really impressed. That would be more helpful if I was going to use more casters. We actually passed up on Handed Diffusion, ironically, at some point. But, because it gave us 2 options. Because before what it'd do would be like, you could either just get a random collectible in IS2, or you could get a random collectible, or a random collectible that said that could be like a random play thing, I think was the wording they used. But I don't want to invest too much in casters, so you know what? I'm just going to invest in the investment system until it stops me. Okay. Maybe we'll take this after all. That's awkward. Anyway, let's see what this first boss is. I'm glad if we were going to have technical issues, it happened right before we could fight the first Dreadful Foe, because I have no idea what we're going into. Most of the stages we've done so far have not been hard. Like I said, we lost 2 HP because I forgot to activate Thorn's skill. Because I'm dumb. But let's just hop straight into it. I already looked at the stage layout. It doesn't look super crazy. I forgot to put Perfumer in. Hopefully that doesn't bite me because she'll provide a lot more healing than Ansa will. Oh, I do so much stuff like that all the time. They gave us bushes here, which is interesting. That'll be really helpful, I think, for keeping, like, Chalter alive here. Don't know what else we'll use. Let's use Chalter to just do some assassination. She's such a crazy good unit. I was talking about it, but my favorite 3 units I've always mentioned have been Texas, Siege, and Neural. And of those 3, I think a lot of people didn't expect to get like a Mafia version of Texas just because they thought altars have always kind of been stated to be what could be like future versions of characters. Whether for the good, like, I don't know, Neural to Radiant Knight, or for the bad, like Sculptor. Kind of like the bad end situation there. But we'll see. That looks like to be mini bosses have. Texas start whittling. Oh! Oh! So Texas gets an insane amount. I mean, she's still an Executor, but she solves basically all the issues Executors have. Like, she has very high damage output. She has very high survivability because she gets all her HP back and reactivates skill the first time she defeats an enemy. But here, we'll probably use her to just absorb that ammo count. Just so it doesn't dumpster. Actually, if he targets... That thing does a lot of damage. If he targets Spectre Alter, it should just put her in Dollkeeper form. Go ahead and activate this skill now. Because I have no idea how much ammo it'll take. But it's ironic. A lot of units I didn't use, like I actually didn't use Chalter that much in IS2. Because the investment was so high. And while she's still a crazy good unit, it took so much DP to get her going. And she's not helpful even in S3 without her skill too much. But that's also because I used Rosa for every ending except Bid Sad Lock to deal with the puppets on the right side in the Lucian stage. And now that that's no longer an issue, potentially, could leave some openings to use that. Let's see what the collectible is first. I even have that much arch damage. It's mostly Spectre Alter. You know what? That's probably helpful. We'll grab Soraya. Probably the highest utility tank. You can do some funny things with like Horn on some stages. But let's see what the dice roll is. Oh! Okay, I didn't know if you got a high dice roll. We got a 6 when we were rolling for our collectible, and that's why we got it. But apparently if you roll high, you don't get the neurodegeneration on anyone. It's only on Orchid and Lava right now, so I haven't worried about it. But if you got it on, like, a lot of times you take an early 6-star carry at the beginning of a run. Like, if it popped on my Thorns first, I would have had to potentially try and re-roll it. But I'm still going to go for as many... Oh, okay. This stage has, like, little terminals that we can't let be destroyed, otherwise we'll lose life points. That's not good, but I'm not too worried about it because we have Texas. I'm actually going to get rid of Orchid. I would like to get Myrtle, I think, or just any solid DP regeneration here. But we'll have to see. So these are the command terminals. In that case, we're going to put Thorns in a forward position, and then if we need to protect the back, we'll deal with that later. Because I'm worried there will just be some drones that come straight across, but these holes here make me think maybe that's not the case? I don't know. I mean, so much I feel like around... I mean, I wouldn't consider myself super good at IS2. Oh, it just... What? Because I see people go in and do like solo runs, Abyssal Hunter clears, single type clears. It takes me a while to get into things. I think I first tried to play it on stream. But I know I lost distinctively, like super hard, to Lucian. Like the first few times I tried him, I lost to the speaker, went really poorly for me. I think I beat Bitsad Lock the first try, but I think that's because I accidentally got all the events to make sure we disabled its regeneration, which is pretty important for that fight. If you don't disable Big Sad Lock's regeneration, the only way I've been able to beat it, and I've done it like 3 or 4 times, is with a Chalice run. You could probably do it outside, but I feel like that's the most reliable way to bypass that regeneration, because it just, the amount of DPS you need otherwise is kind of nuts. I didn't think about this though, but these two... Shelter is kind of stealing some auto attacks away from Thorns here, which means Destreza didn't get proc, which means we might lose a life here. That's really awkward. That is completely my fault though. I'm not a big Thorns player. Like, I almost never use him outside of integrated strategies, but yeah, that hurts a little bit because we don't have temporary life points, I think, this early. A little bit annoying, but fine. Operator deployment limit increase isn't the most important thing. Okay, so not the cleanest, but could have been a lot worse. I'll take it over dying. I've never been a big fan of this. I don't think this is... Oh. I don't think this is the same as the one I'm thinking of. I think you get attack speed or something like that. But it's interesting that I added another one of these. Oh, and I guess I didn't show it so far once we rebooted the stream, but they added like a massive skill tree that I have no idea how we upgrade. I assume you just play and go, and then this is the like archive and stuff. And we have some monthly contracts to go. I don't know if there's monthly squads or like the preset squad you could get, but ideally I'd love to see if they are. I hate taking these reserve ops, but I'm trying to make sure we can get maybe like one of the, if we can complete this run, I like to build towards getting one of the instant upgrade operators, which right now I believe it's Sniper Medic, wasn't it? And I'd have to check. Not the most important thing, but I mean, my favorite squad in this game is to just start with already upgraded guards and vanguards. It makes life so much easier. That's not encouraging. I don't have... Ew. Yeah, I don't have either of the berries or chestnut recruited right now. I have been wondering though if we're gonna need a nervous impairment healer in this mode, because I used to force one a lot. I used mulberry a lot in IS2, and then I found out like with a good strategy you don't need nervous impairment healing. You might need it in this mode though. Frankly, I am very scared to deploy Thorns because I think Thorns might just get dunked on by these guys. So let's do this. Alright, the good old miss. Luckily we have Texas Altar. I really hope, what is it? Hand of... I can't ever remember what it's called. But the, is it Hand of Super Speed? I really hope that exists in this mode because that would make my life so much easier. Like, it works for Dollkeeper units, but I usually put Spectre Altar with, like, the main team. But there's just always been something special about seeing, like, a Project Red just go to town. Yeah, we are. Yeah, I'm a little worried about this stage in the future. Just a tad bit scary, I'd say. I'd put her in the wrong spot. And I will say it already feels like I'm going to be using different units than I used to. Because, I mean, prime example is Rosa. Unless I find a specific stage like the Lucian stage, where I feel the need to take... Oh my gosh, she's missing so much. Unless I find a specific stage, maybe I should have put her up here, actually. I got greedy for the extra tactile. But unless I find a stage like the Lucian stage that requires something like long-range bombardment, I don't know if I will. Yeah, I'm an idiot. Oh wait, no I'm not. Right, because it's these... I haven't seen these enemies in such a long time, actually, because I'm... dumb. Reminds me a lot of I feel like this would have been fitting. I don't know when it came out in CN, but this event to me feels like it would have been very fitting to come out around the same time as Stoltefair and Novice, when everybody had nervous impairment and everything fresh on their mind, and how painful it was. Oh my goodness. We should be fine, but that hurt. I am not looking forward to seeing how this stage goes on emergency op. And Texas Altar kind of bailed us out. Those enemies on the left side would have hurt. They would have not been fun to deal with, so... Yeah, we didn't level up. I am going to just... tough to say. It's gonna upgrade Soraya. Makes her pretty powerful. I really know how strong calcification is. But Soraya S2 has so much it's so nice. And we got this stage again, interesting. It seems like there's a lot of repeat stages. This is like the third time we've had a repeat stage of this run. In fact, I think our first and our third stage were the exact same one. I would assume, though, they're going to release a little bit more over time. I think we'll do maybe one Tau back on Thorns. And we'll try to feed him more auto attacks this time. Knowing what happened last time that we lost a life, we'll hold off on deploying Chalter until he can hopefully get Destreza version 2. And I'm just gonna run out the whole thing. It always makes me laugh when they do it, and it's actually, I think, effective because it makes the numbers deceptive, since you think there's gonna be more enemies than there actually ends up being. We could actually do something like this, and then just not use her skill, because I think he ended up with like about half a bar in the second time. Pop this here. If we lose lives, it will definitely be to... Oh yeah, that is a big... If we lose life, though, it'll absolutely be to anti-air again, so we'll just have to be careful. This. How far does it affect? Is it every operator? Right, there we go. That'll work. Yeah. The way I see Executor units, though, especially Texas Alter now, is they're basically just like a band-aid. You messed up, you drop them, the problem disappears. Did she hit that unit? No, it is aerial, okay. I had to double check because I wasn't 100% certain. I was like 90% certain, but I have missed obvious things before, and it usually results in me dying. Yeah, it looks like that was the correct way to play this stage, which is good to know, at least with our current setup, because that let her hold enough ammo to deal with the late game, whatever these are supposed to be. Yeah, I used to use Telopsis, and I still use Telopsis as like my secondary healer, but the more and more I play IS2, the more and more value I'm finding against some lower rarity units. Crazy stuff. We got another caster voucher. I mean, we already passed up handed fusion. We could use Aya. I mean, what are we really lacking right now? We are lacking some anti-air damage, clearly. I would really like to get Neural Alter, just because she's usually my safeguard for boss units. Like, Chalter on Lucian fight, compared to using Neural Alter S3 is actually kind of nuts. Just because I think Chalter's a little bit better at it, but we'll try it. I like it. We could go Safe House, or we could go... I actually want to go Safe House and see if we can't get a free promotion voucher again. What is light? I have no idea. We'll grab the Hope. Because we started out with this squad, that makes... It doesn't help with the promotion, but -1 Hope to recruit. That means if we do run into another guard voucher, we had one dead one, which is why we have Midnight. But... I have no idea which of these skills. I haven't used AL a whole lot. I mean, I just got her. But I know she's pretty solid. Where's the food? No. If I knew what this would pay out with and I was aware of what was coming, I would consider giving up some life and being cheeky. Don't want to do that. So this is another one of the 1 life point things that we'll go for Captain Morgan's wine. Okay. So I'd assume if you roll really low, you don't get one. We did get... So we rolled a 6 the first time that happened, and we got our Glass Bird, and we got Reserve Operator. Yeah, I'm not going to bother rerolling that. Sorry, Reserve Operator. But we got Glass Bird and Painful Happiness at the same time. I don't know if that's because we rolled a 6, but I'm going to hold on to the dice rolls until I know exactly what we're looking at. And then this is probably the final boss of the run. I don't know if there's multiple endings. If there are, I would assume we have to... you know, beat a run first. That's scary. I dislike stages where you can't just like, and is what makes a lot of stages difficult, where you have to protect multiple routes or multiple objectives, but good to know. We'll probably take bottom path. Since we've already maxed out our investment, we might as well see what we can buy. It gives us an emergency op and a safe house. It is rubble that can block. Okay, it's a rubble stage. Overall, I'm not, like, nothing in this run jumps out to me as like a crazy good run, but I feel pretty comfortable. Never mind, I take it back. That's horrifying. I think we defend down here just so they don't... These things can hit at range, right? And then we'll just start dumping Texas Alter and having her... Maybe that wasn't a good idea. Didn't think about that. Well, good luck, Thorns. Probably be okay if I drop Sarai here. Yeah, I'm an idiot. These aren't the ones that attack at range. I was thinking they're the ones that shoot Nervous Impairment at you. They're the ones that sit there and hang out until you hit them. We are going to want to activate a couple of them at a time, I think, once we're prepared. So where's the rubble that can... Oh. Yeah, don't break that. Stop that. Oh no. That. I don't think we need to worry about it. Yeah, because Texas Alter, if she was E2'd, I think she'd be able to stop that. Because she's not, maybe we save Spectre Alter to deploy up here. Perfect. Now let's activate a few more of these. I think by the time they get down there, Chalter will have ammo up. Maybe. Maybe not. I feel like these stages haven't actually been super hard so far. They're just making me really nervous. No pun intended. There's 4 here. Yeah, these are the last 4. Okay, good. I just wanted to activate 2 there. And we'll just pop down everyone we can. Wait! Oh. That's not what I wanted to do, but it's fine. Yeah, I would take an upgrade here. Vouchers. I mean, it always comes down to voucher luck. I've had some games where, like, I didn't get... the worst run I think I did was I barely cleared Lucian because I didn't get a single medic voucher the entire run. I had to rely on, like, Sarai healing. I think I had a Sculptor that run. It was sketchy. But we get 2 options. I would take Specialist Caster. I would take Guard. I'd take Medic. See what it gives us. We'll take Medic. Upgrade Perfumer here. Alright, what have we got? Promotion voucher? No, I still don't know what the light is. It can't be... No, this is Hope. I'm an idiot, yeah. I wonder if it's XP. I genuinely have no idea. 15 XP would not be bad. It'd make sure we probably leveled up before the next fight. I don't think life points will help us because in this game mode, every time if a final boss gets through, it's 30 damage. You're gonna die. So I don't feel the need to, I guess, try and protect myself from that. Which, is it XP? Candle burns brighter. Oh. It's this. I didn't even click on this. Interesting. Taking damage and fighting at low HP will reduce light. I wonder if it's like Darkest Dungeon. Where like if at highlight it just doesn't do anything, but if it goes super low, you're gonna get dumpstered. Okay, I haven't seen this stage before, but it seems fairly straightforward. Mobile hangers that launch enemy drones. Shouldn't be too hard. Famous last words, but I don't think it'll be too bad just based on the layout. Oh. Maybe I should have put Thorn's 1 tile higher so that he would get a bit more early Destreza value. Fine. I will say I'd feel a lot better with a Myrtle as well. Even if she's not E2'd, all E2 really does for her is like it gives her the talent to regen health, which is nice. But the amount of DP that character can generate is insane. I'm actually just gonna pop this. I still have no idea when the proper time to use that is, but it makes me feel a little bit better to have that in the way. Has he used this? Yeah, we did, okay. Probably don't need to worry about feeding because we have Captain Morgan's wine. There's actually a lot of offensive like regeneration artifacts that pair really nicely with Thorns. It's just interesting seeing these stages before without having seen the emergency op, or in this case seeing the emergency op without seeing the regular version, because it really does make you wonder what the difference is. But I already feel like, compared to IS2, like, I feel like what you need is still very similar. Like, you just want a very good, like, core defensive comp here, like we've got, and then something like an Executor that can just run around and deal with everything that's dangerous. And honestly, the nervous impairment so far hasn't been a huge issue. Not enough, at least, to make me think, oh, I need to get Mulberry or Honeyberry. Which is always nice, because investing in a nervous impairment healer feels kind of bad. 2 squad size. Yeah, like, this is what I was talking about, though. 2% attack? Compared to some of the ones you can get in previous integrated strategies, you can get some insane buffs. So it feels a little weird to me that this is all we're getting. There is a... Ooh. Not the vouchers I was hoping for. I don't think... So I'm thinking about who all I have. That's a good back out. As far as supporters go, my only E2 supporters I think are Ling, who I'm not going to play, and Sculptor, who I don't... Oh, we have Suzerain. Suzerain might not be bad. Actually. Well... Without E2, because whoever we recruit from here on out, including, like, the ones we have that aren't E2'd, I don't think we're super likely to get upgraded. Because we're only going to get, I think, 1 or 2 more vouchers. So that has to be kept in mind. I have a lot of tank options, but I can't imagine how helpful they'll be. We could try Penance. Penance is really nice because she's expensive, but she's just like a plop her down in a lane and she'll usually hold it. But again, that's if she's E2'd. We'll try it. Mudrock also serves the same purpose. I feel like Mudrock is a little bit more... Like, people have compared these two a lot. I think both of them still have fine niches. I think Mudrock has a... I don't know how to explain it. Like, Penance has way more barriers, but Mudrock has the spin to win, so... It's like a lot of... There's so much anti-air. Maybe I should have gotten Exia at some point. Just... And then I guess we might as well take a ranged unit. In all honesty, Chalder plus Thorns, once Thorns is ramped up, seems like it's more than enough. But, oh, it's one of these guys. Yeah, I'll be honest, we have not been getting the vouchers that I was hoping for. Oh, it's one of the big boy drones. Like, I was really hoping for some slightly different upgrades that we just haven't seen. So hopefully I didn't need to deploy Chalter earlier. What with these guys coming? I think we actually do this. And I'm gonna use... Or just to bait out the big attacks. Rosa's really good for dealing with these because she can take care of them outside of their range. Unfortunately, that's not, you know, an option presented to us right now, but we'll figure something out. Use the other firebomb. I'm gonna go ahead and disactivate her skill. Because we have Captain Morgan's Wine, Thorns will get Destreza activated anyways, and I'm really worried about anti-air here. Yeah. Might be time to bring back the Exia. Exia is a unit that I would literally only use. Like, I almost always used Cruz in IS2. I would bring out the Exia as like a super luxury unit. Like if I was drowning in sniper vouchers and hope. But these guys do make me nervous. By the time they get over here, if Chalter doesn't have enough ammo to deal with it, it could be dangerous. In fact, to stop Chalter from wasting ammo, we should probably dump her on some of these units. Hopefully Aya doesn't die. Oh, eat the fire. Nope. Whew. That was almost really bad. Pop this too. I'm actually gonna have a reload here. I think we have time. That is literally the only thing I think that's hard about playing in any way, and it's not even really hard about playing. Just stall these guys if they have to attack. About playing Shelter is just in a long stage, he has to reload. And honestly, it doesn't even look like that was necessary. Because Thorns can take care of it. Thorns is honestly such an insane unit. It's never been like one of the units I use the most. And hopefully we can get a free artifact off Duck Lord here. Back him one more time, thank you. You would assume so is what we have, but Tolerance in a circle here. Yep. Hopefully it's a good one. I did look at the investment system, so you usually unlocked Golden Chalice by investing in the bank. But it shows a different artifact there, which makes me wonder if you can even get it. Worn Photo's not terrible. That is a tough choice. I'm gonna grab Myrtle. DP regeneration is making me a little bit nervous. We got Sniper Operators. That's somewhat helpful. Hand of Choker won't do anything. Grab this. Grab this. Swaps this. 3 first aid kits. Oh, that's interesting. They've added more of these little units you can bring along. Alright, what's this? A random collectible and a random cursed collectible. I wonder if this one just has a higher chance of giving you something really good. I have no idea what a cursed collectible is. I would like to not throw my first run. Ooh, a 5 objective shield. That's nuts. Alright. Let's pop in Telopsis as a secondary healer and pop in Myrtle. And we'll have to see how this stage goes. I have no idea what I'm about to walk into. There's 4 stages. Yeah, that reminds me a lot of Darkest Dungeon. I'm gonna pop Thorns here, I think. I was thinking about when we first looked at the map, popping him down here. So that he could cover both ends of the objective, but I don't think that's the play if enemies immediately come in through here. Shelter here. I think next has to be a medic. 88 enemies is a lot to go through, including, I'm assuming, a boss. But now I have almost no... I'm just gonna pop this early. Pop Soraya down here. Let's start slowing the stage down before I get myself into too much trouble. Like, I'll usually play a Lucian stage on 2x speed. And Big Sad Lock, I think you can get away with it too, but I don't want to throw the run. I'm really worried about it, actually. These things appear to actually just take damage if you don't do anything. Oh, it's the things this thing chucks. I guess let's have you deal with this. I'm a little disappointed we never got another specialist voucher. But what are you gonna do? I have seen much worse voucher luck in this game mode, so. Let's see. And she seems to still be able to do her job, which is great. The first aid kits could also keep Perfumer alive. Because even though we have a Telopsis, I know we talked about DB generation here, and then I never dropped Myrtle. Important to keep high DP generation. Because even if Tex Alter doesn't cost a lot to deploy, it's still enough that, like, you need to be careful. Paranoia, Illusion, and Aegir, girl. What is that? Does that have multiple phases? Because that's taking a lot of damage, though. Oh my goodness. That's horrifying. I mean, it's the Seaborn. I don't know what I expected, but... Let's actually do this if it spawns it. Unless it goes over this way. Doesn't look like we'll be making much use of Penance, which is fine. I mostly just picked her up because I had a feeling we weren't going to get many more vouchers. I can't tell if it's a flying unit just because Thorns would hit her anyways. But that's also important to know. Shelter here. I would assume this has to have multiple phases though, there's no way. It's taking way too much damage for that not to be a first phase. If it is a flying unit though, that means I don't need to worry about using Neural Alter as my yeah, I think it's a flying unit. Maybe it drops to the floor and becomes a melee unit? That would be my next guess. Honestly, I think Rosa might be good for this stage. It's funny. I know on like the CN, I think I've talked about it before, but the CN tier list, she's considered really bad. But Rosa and integrated strategies is surprisingly helpful. No, it goes back to being a flying unit. So Thorns kind of feels like a must-bring. I'm going to be honest. In this stage, Thorns feels like a must-have. Because he's basically dealing with it entirely on his own, and we don't have that many buffs. Of course, there's still probably other endings. Yeah, I'm thinking Core Squad's definitely going to include... Maybe not Shelter. Oh, I could have stopped that. Maybe not Shelter, but it'll definitely include Thorns. It'll definitely include, like, Perfumer, probably Soraya. Slow that back down. Shelter or Rosa, I think will be fine, because Shelter didn't even hit the boss until, like, right... She didn't even hit the boss. So... You take that as you will. A lot of enemies coming. Oh, it's because she blocked this thing. That's pretty funny. But overall, not so bad. I mean, I'll be honest, I do not think, like, even now, having played as much integrated strategies as I have, I do not think I could have jumped straight into the Lucian stage if, say, this was the original integrated strategies, and then I hopped into IS2 for the first time. I don't think I would have beaten Lucian first try. Lucian's a really hard fight. Let's actually do this. Just stall him a little bit. I mean, we could let everything else go through and we'd still survive, so I guess it's not a huge concern, but... Yeah, I'm not gonna lie, I was expecting to fall flat on my face the first run. We did use very, very strong units. But... Yeah, I'll take it. I'll take it, unless that wasn't the final boss of the run. Which would be awkward. Don't really know the story of this, though. Oh, that's the new unit you get from this mode, I think. Interesting. There's Mizuki in a new outfit, an old man. You've done well, Mizuki. Sir? He simply was not as perfect as you. I would assume that's reference to the boss we just killed. He was so eager to change, even if the Herald's gift led her astray. I don't know a whole lot about the Seaborn aside from, like, Scotty's and Sculptor's lore. That was nevertheless what she hoped for. I know the story, though, of how, like, she thought she was the last Abyssal Hunter and everything. There's certain parts of the lore in Arknights that I'm way more familiar with, like the Casimirs and then the Siracusans than, say, Seaborn, but what about her memories and her song? She seemed as fond of singing as ever. In that form, all she can manage is sounds that terrify her. I thought I'd heard, though, that Sculptor was the final boss. I wasn't expecting this. I only provide a choice. As for where the individuals ends up, I don't think anyone else can make that decision. You don't care at all about what she has become? Individuals like that are indeed uncommon. The Seaborn don't, as much as we love our Abyssal Hunters, like everyone loves Scotty, a lot of the, like, a little sketchy. Most humans have no idea what they are seeking, or are easily manipulated by some burst of emotion, that's fair. When they swallow the gift of the Herald, their consciousness is subsumed by the instincts of we many, and they turn into a sea terror, or some kind of incomplete Seaborn eager to swim out into the ocean. Highmore was able to revert back from this state, presumably because she wished from the bottom of her heart to capture those human qualities she so cherished. Highmore, I'm pretty sure, is the unit we just saw. It's the Integrated Strategies 2 unit. Just like you in a sense, Mizuki. I hope I'm pronouncing that right. Like, I would assume this is Chisero, but me and names don't go well. I get yelled at a lot for that, actually. I had a friend whose name was Hui, but his name you spell H-U-Y, and I think they called him Hui for like 3 hours before someone corrected me. It's pretty funny. But you did not undergo that process. Even if you accepted your Seaborn form, your cognition of yourself would still shape you into what you are now. I will say I think it's funny that this is so heavily based around Mizuki, because none of the stages so far I've seen have made me feel like Mizuki or an Ambusher would be a good unit. You accepted becoming Seaborn in its entirety and decided to become human, just like I once did. Oh, okay. But she failed. Because of fear or loneliness. I can't say for sure. As a result, she is trapped somewhere between success and failure. Though she accepted the gift, her refusal to have anything else excised her from her naturally created a dissonance. If the blueprint for the future drafted by your experiment rejects those who aren't resilient enough, then it can't be successful adaptation or evolution for humanity. That is true. Unless you really plan on, like, I don't know, getting rid of, like, a lot of people. True, my dear child, true indeed. I must return to the drawing board again, seeing as that is the answer you've given me. Granted, Arknights is a super tragic world base, so maybe that is this guy's plan. You still remember the question I asked you? How do you become a better human? You've given me a very good answer. See? Rightfully accepting this power has opened your mind, and it seems you've already fully understood my goal. Perhaps if I work hard enough, all humans who taste the fruit of the gods can become as wise as you. Can a life form like that still be called human? A true human would know how to utilize the strength of will that transcends physical matter to overcome the side effects of their trappings. I can't help but make connections, that's kind of how my mind works, but this discussion actually reminds me a lot about like Jujutsu Kaisen and how the curses, the disaster curses, were trying to become like the new humans, in a sense. And at that stage, those who are unable to overcome, or only able to lament the weakness of their mind and body, are unfit to bear the weight of the title human. I will let Highmore live. Great. A benevolent decision, but you are free to do as you see fit. Your every action will serve as an example to those who come after you. I'm very glad to see you, Mizuki. Just as I said before, as long as you do not stray from your path, our fates will intersect eventually. We shall meet again. I'm gonna be honest, when I started reading that, I thought it was gonna be like a 3-line thing like the IS2 endings. He is as stubborn as ever. Hi, Highmore. He's crying. You're awake? It must have taken a lot of energy to turn to that form. Want me to whip something up for you? What a kind guy. Okay. Wait, hold on. What's that? Oh, that's really wholesome. Well, they're your lips. What? You weren't able to complete your seaborn metamorphosis, so most of that proliferated tissue ended up falling off. That is... I was literally about to say how, like, all the characters Nami created, like Mizuki and Golden Glow especially, are like super wholesome characters. We see like the Golden Glow trumpet meme, and now here's Mizuki feeding Highmore her own limbs. I helped remove the rest of the stuff that was stuck onto you, so you should look like a completely normal person now. Nobody will ever know the difference. Come on, dig in while the meat's still fresh. You'll recover some of your strength at least. That's... Yeah, I don't know about that one. Don't worry about it, this one cooks fast. That's not what I meant, yeah. Maybe I've overcooked this first batch. Are you hungry now? No. I wanted to ask about something else. I can't really do different voices. I have like 1 or 2 voices I can do. I'm not that good at voice acting. Sir Chisero left. I proved how blinding and incompetent I am. Same. I have nothing left. That might be true. You could come to Rhodes Island. That's probably how you become an operator. But as long as I have good stuff to eat and drink and games to play, life's pretty... I skipped that, oops. These lobbies that let you reject the Seaborn can also give you a purpose to live on, I'm sure of it. Are you sure you don't want a bite? I'm good. Alright. I didn't bring any dry food with me, but I do know a good place with lots of nice people who can cook all sorts of delicious food. Yep. Pretty much what we expected. Might even be able to help you get a sense of humanity again. How about it? Want to come with me? The only downside is, like, there's also abyssal hunters there. Okay. That was a little creepy, but it was still pretty wholesome. So this shows where our light was. So unless you lose a lot of life though, and it's just another reason to not lose, like, something simple but just not get hit, right? As long as you did, I think it was like 75, you should be good. Only Orc Lava and Reserve Op. So good for, I mean, it affects reserve ops and stuff, that's nice. These are our dice rolls. We didn't get cursed. There's 5 options, but 6 sides of the dice. Huh. Rolled 1 in deep dive. Yeah. Interesting. And then it gives us the classic scene. I genuinely didn't feel like we were a super powerful squad, so it's interesting to see that, like, that run went so well. I have no idea what we would have done without Thorns in that last fight, though. Like, Thorns seems very necessary. Oh, we got Draft of a Speech. Good. Breath of the Tide. Don't know what that is. Don't know what that is. Don't know what that is. Secret HR's letter is nice. That's the 4-star one. Did we not get the 5-star one? Interesting. Don't know what that is. Don't know what that is. I believe that's Dodge. That's extra starting DP. This one's really nice, actually. No idea, no idea. Lots of complete and ending. This is the, I believe, extra attack for every operator type in the squad, and I don't know what these 3 are. Actually, maybe I've seen this one. Overall, not bad. We got a lot of free levels for the free rewards. Wonder how long they'll add on to this, because there's no more being added to the other one. I wanted to see... Interesting. Contract rewards. Reach Raging Billows. So it is the same thing as I thought. You only have to reach a certain stage. I don't remember which one Raging Billows is. So let's try this, though. I don't know if this is a... Oop, wrong button. I don't know if this is a monthly squad. Or if it's one of the, I mean, let me check. The memory mapping. It doesn't show the same thing. I can't tell if that's the monthly squad, because it looked like there were 3. I mean, Contract Rewards Communication Recorder, I would assume it's a monthly one. Which, because this came out towards the end of the month, I wonder if they're just going to let that one run for an extra month. And that makes me wonder if they're ever going to add an IS4. I mean, there's so much potential with the integrated strategies mode. They've done such a good job with them so far. Everyone's loved them. I can't see why they wouldn't. And it kind of escapes the whole, like, sanity cost, being able to just grind stages, new content. It creates, like, that's what I love about roguelikes, is it creates such a big replayability value. Pure Gold Expedition. That, it makes you, like, fall in love with the game all over again. Okay. Got the ending, some events. We'll try, definitely, to get some new events in our following runs. It was just the first one. I'm really glad we got a first try win. Really didn't expect that either. There's 3 endings. Sealed by Dust. Oh. I thought that was the name of the ending. And I wonder if they'll add more, because there are only 4 in IS3. What other monthlies do I have? Defeat 4 bosses. Race command low. I'm really surprised that they lowered the XP gain. It's probably, I would imagine, because you have to consider, in any run that was going to the 3rd or 4th ending in IS2, you were basically guaranteed to either be max level or really close to it. So it kind of nullified the advantage of, like, say, Research Squad or the extra command XP, aside from getting a little bit of extra early power. So I can understand why they nerfed it. Same with the ingot gain. I really do get why they nerfed ingot gain, but this is what I was talking about at the start, is I would assume, like, Flames of the Inquisition, unless that's literally the new Golden Chalice, which I kind of doubt it because that item became kind of iconic. I don't know what this is, and I have no idea what this means. Let's hop into memory mapping, see what happens. Do we just start out with only Thorns? Distant Home's Guide. Designates one deployable tile at the beginning of battle, friendly units. Ooh, that's nasty. That's really good for Thorns, too. Big support squad. Oh, okay. That's interesting. It just forces you into a certain squad. I mean, we're still probably just going to take Orchid. Supporters are just, unless you're trying to do a Link solo run, even Sculptor I don't find to be particularly helpful. Like, Supporter's one of the vouchers I would like to see the least. Once I upgrade my casters more, that'll also be more helpful. But I prefer, I mean, guards are just, it's guard knights, you know? And now specialists as well. And we'll take a cruise. Anti-air seems to be much more prevalent, but in all seriousness, if we're ever doing a serious run, I'll probably just start with Thorns from here on out. It seems like he is just way too busted for, he's strong in IS2, but I don't actually use him in a lot of endings. He seems a little bit, overpowered, shall we say, at least for that first ending. He killed the boss by itself and held most of the stages by himself. Anyway, use S1. He's just all around a pretty solid unit, though. Always, like. The Lord class has always been helpful. I do have a Muinar now. Don't know if I've ever mentioned that on stream. It's been a while since I streamed. I think what I was streaming before I stopped though was Arknights. We'll have to see. We'll probably just hold on to Orchid and Cruz until we need it, because I don't want the snipers to just dumpster them when we don't have a medic. This is the tile that actually, yeah, okay. I'm sure later on that falls off, but actually this tile probably makes whoever's on it this early on pretty much immortal. And I gotta say, I'm a big fan of a lot of the new EN voices. I've mentioned it, I just prefer the original Cruz voice because of that line being iconic. But, the EN voice actor for Cruz actually reminds me a lot of the young Tiki voice actor for Fire Emblem. Big fan of Fire Emblem. But all the Italian voices, I think they did just a killer job with. People have talked about it, but Penance, Texas, Lapland, super, super good. Anyway, I'm hoping for a melee unit here. We don't have the same squad we did, but we have enough hope to get a 6-star anyways. That's not what I was looking for. I'll be honest, on these ones where it only says, I think it's reached the 5th floor, it's either 4th or 5th, I'm not going to worry about fighting the final boss. I'm just going to take my win and go once we get to the last floor. I'm so tempted to get like a Exia or something. Let's just do this for now. It's also bait for if we get that one effect too. Lose 5 ingots but gain 3 health. Yeah, sure. That's a pretty solid event. It's either gain 1 hope or give up 5 ingots for 3. Either way, you're walking away positive in hope. It is a little concerning though that the tile from this artifact seems like it could be just about anywhere. This is the stage we lost life on. I think I mentioned that at the start. But we'll see. I can't get over how much I like though that you destroy these chests now instead of trying to protect them. They just put them in the dumbest spots. Like just the most like, I'm never gonna protect that ever type of places. Unless you really wanted to get greedy and pretty much die for it. But yeah, this spot could be insane, but it feels like it's very RNG dependent. And I don't know if it can appear on a... I'm fine with it being on a range tile, because you could imagine like how fast Cholter's reload speed would be, or like Rose's S3 would come back up, and they'd be much harder to kill. Same with a caster. Because that's one of the reasons why I don't like relying on, say, Passenger, is he takes so much resources to put down. And then if he dies, you're in so much trouble.
Mission accomplished.
But not so bad. I think we did alright too, Cruz. Supporter voucher? This game is not being very kind to me. Yeah, I don't have an E2 Angelina. Suzerain's helpful, but I don't think I'll be using her a whole lot. Sculptor Ling, like... Another reserve op, it is. Hopefully we don't die to this emergency op, though, because we have no other melee units or sustain. I think we'll be really reliant on Thorns and Tile. Never mind, the Tile appeared on a melee spot that we can't use. That is unfortunate. Because I'm not going to put Thorns all the way up here, because we'll die to everything else. Luckily, Thorns has some innate sustain, so... Oh, and that didn't even explode on me. Good to know. Actually, our highest damage dealer is definitely Cruz, outside of Thorns. But I don't want her to go down. Oh. Not going to worry about the chest. But this being here really does make me think we've just gotten lucky so far with placement, which is nice to see, I guess. Better than getting unlucky. I wasn't even sure it could be on a melee tile because we had it a couple fights in a row on a range tile. We'll see what we can do. I'll pop this now, I think. slow down the pace a little bit. I am a fan of this giving them giving us like free utility, and they still have those devices like the first aid kits we got, because a lot of times you didn't actually use those because you had to buy them from a shop or get them like very rarely from an event. We might leak a couple lives here. Oh, it hit Cruz. That's not good. Yeah, we're almost dead. We're alive, and that's what's important. But we might have to try this a couple tries. I mean, to get like so many ranged vouchers in a row was kind of unlucky. Oh my goodness. At least we get a bunch of a free attack speed now. My passenger just... He's only like E255, and like I said, he doesn't have his module. And so unless we got handed a fusion, it wouldn't be good. So let's try... We've talked about Nami. Let's use Golden Glow. Ooh, what's this? 10 seconds after. That would be insane on Texas Alter. And we... I think we're going to die. Like, I really do think we're going to die because we're not getting any melee vouchers. We have seen one, and it's the guaranteed thorns we had. You could argue we could have taken, like, Ling or something, but I really didn't think we would see this. Orchid, that's fine. Same thing as actually our previous run. We'll take the fight if it's, yeah. I mean, we have to take a fight at this point. We need another melee op. And we need to get one while we still can before we run into some danger. That's a really bad spot for that. Oh boy. Because I realistically have to put thorns here. Otherwise we'd have to just rely on killing everything before they got here on this side. Which is just not realistically going to happen. On the plus side, we do have an insane amount of attack speed. That is something. Oh boy. Honestly, if we have to try this again though, I'm not gonna feel too bad about it. This has been honestly pretty unlucky. Voucher luck can just kill you in this game mode, and we're seeing that. Case in point. Oh, it got thorns. Oh boy. I mean, the sheer amount of attack speed we have because of the artifact I made fun of because I never use it. Oh no, we can't block these because we... Oh, that's unfortunate. Maybe I should... You know, I think I misplayed though. I think we could have played for that tile. Because of how much attack speed our ranged ops had, I think we would have been okay. I don't feel too bad about losing that though. That's just kind of sad. Take support squad again though. It looks like it does always give you this starting squad as well, which is fine. Who did we start off with? You know what I could do? Bad luck protection, let's take another melee unit. Because that was just making me really sad. I was like... I think that was, what, 4 or 5 vouchers, including the one we saw in the shop, that were all ranged. And I don't want to use Ling in IS2 hardly ever. I like Ling, I enjoy doing solo Ling runs for stages, but it really does skew what you can do so hard because you have to play solely around her. Let's take Amiya here, I think. Have Orchid deal with the bees. They're kind of like... They're spiders. They are spiders, but to me they look like bees. I don't know why. But she should basically just be a roadblock for this. I don't know if any more of the exploding enemies show up. But to be honest, the only way I usually die on a first stage is if I love taking the 3 random vouchers, but I have absolutely ended up on a run where I started with 2 defenders and a medic, and I thought to myself, no, I'm not going to take a 6-star defender to start. I died because of that yesterday. But I beat the playwright over the last couple of days just practicing for this stream on IS2 quite a few times actually. I think it was like with 3 different squads that I hadn't done it with yet. It was surprising. Oh, she's not going to take care of that one. Amiya does get Art's dodge, so hopefully she dodges the blast here. It's fine. Never mind, she has enough sustain. I will say too, it feels like they've always done a good job with like scaling. Like you get this exact stage in maybe the second floor. It's very clearly like different stats. And same with emergency ops and everything. That's really solid balance. I'm gonna be selfish. Siraya would be good. But I'm gonna go for this. 1 die roll, 4 ingots, it's fine. We should have a good shot. Support squads feels like it'll be the way to go for a little bit. Because there could be that extra hope. So we can hopefully unlock some of the other squads as well. Because I'd like to do at least a couple more runs today. The game annoyingly does not seem to want to work with me though, because I was literally about to say, with our current squad, now we have no range, we want this to be on any melee tile and we just draw Amiya on it. Fair played. I do like this artifact though, I think it's pretty neat. One downside compared to how we played the stage before is I was putting Thorns up here. Is Thorns was able to start whittling down this guy, and Orchid will always hit the furthest enemy ahead, so she'll be hitting the crocodiles a lot. I think we'll be okay though. I get told by my friends I worry way too much about everything though. Just about every game we play. Guess I dropped that a little bit too late. Fine. Figure something out. I would love a sniper voucher actually. On low hope, I think certain vouchers definitely pay off a little bit more. Although we do have 6. Okay. Well. Let's try something new maybe. Actually, we'll try Golden Glow again. Feel like that's probably the best thing there. That's pretty solid. Get a 5-star operator now. Oh, never mind. Didn't know you could get that event twice. I was gonna say, is this 2 additional nodes twice as much light will be lost? Okay. I was wondering if this was a bewildered floor, but it looks like they have different effects. What's this? Cistern. I have never seen this stage before. Let's try it. I think emergency ops early will always be a go-to. Try Golden Glow S2. It dropped a unit on our time, that's funny. I have an idea for how I want to do this, we'll just see if it works. The goal here is to put down Golden Glow and then Cardigan so ranged operators don't attack Golden Glow. Proper now though. Oh. Okay, that hurt a lot more than I thought it would. Hopefully, as long as like a ranged unit doesn't spawn here and hit her first, you should be okay. Well. I had a plan, but it turns out I'm bad at calculations. That's fine. I think we'll be okay. Let's pop this. Yeah, they're decimating my ranged ops. It is funny because I was just thinking to myself, I wonder how much you can get away with not taking a medic. You probably need a medic. just get the inkling. I do find it really ironic though. I wonder if this is how they're gonna do it though, if instead of like giving us a 3-person monthly squad that you start out with and you kind of follow their journey. More hope, okay. If it doesn't just give us one specific operator for like the quote-unquote monthly squad, would be interesting. We're gonna have Myrtle. I've been raising Flametail and Bagpipe actually. Bagpipe's really grown on me. I can see why people think she's so strong. Flametail is just kind of funny to use. I use Siege and Saga a lot though. Siege because I like her, and then Saga because Saga's actually pretty solid too. Both Myrtle, we get some DP regeneration, some sustain, and kind of the ability to protect ourselves. That will only apply on Cardigan. What is her defense? 475? We'll try it. I've always thought this one would be good if I ever finished raising my Eunectus. She's E180. Oh! Well, maybe we should be re-rolling then, because if you get a 6, you get something good. Get an additional 70. 70? Oh my goodness. That's insane. Like, if you can get that early, that's kind of busted. Let's do max hope and hope, but obtain the collectible. I mean, we're gonna level up, so what's Breath of the Tide? +1 deployment limit. Tide Hunt Knight will appear on the battlefield. Is that an ally? Lose 1 knight for the chance. Okay, I would assume that's an allied unit. If it's not, I'm gonna be really sad if we have to kill like a knight every single time. Ooh, Urgenum Altars. I'm actually going to avoid that. Don't want to die. Obtain a book of scriptures and a random collectible. It seems like you'll run into trouble later on. I wonder if this is for an ending. Which doesn't help us because I don't think we can unlock anything here, so we're just going to grab this. 5 light doesn't do anything, but I don't want to run into trouble later on. And that just sounds like a bad idea, but I do wonder if that's for an ending. Granted, with good old Distrasive Boy, I'm sure we'll probably be okay. Michelle's over here. He is an allied unit, okay. Good to know. He is also, unfortunately, taking up the exact tile I was going to put thorns on, so we'll just put thorns here. At least he can ramp up Distrays on this if he doesn't die. In fact, I'm going to drop Myrtle right here. Even if she dies before she generates DP, I just need to take some of the heat off of thorns here. Why is this thing so tanky? This isn't even an emergency op. Next attack deals that and pushes the enemy away. That's a really cool collectible, giving you an allied unit. I know allied units in this game usually aren't like the most helpful thing in the world, to be honest, but I actually really like that. Yeah, let's see, 70 command XP? That's gotta be at least a couple levels. That's insane. I can't believe that's a thing. I guess it's, you know, the whole 15 hope. I cannot imagine that happening in IS2. Just 15 hope on the second floor. Portable supply station's nice. You know, at this point I'll actually take Suzerain. Our range damage is a little low outside of Thorns. Whistless Summons. Which is bushes. I do think top priority right now is a medic or Soraya. One or the other. That's a really solid tile though. Might be able to just solo the stage with Thorns at this point. I don't know who to put the portable supply station on though, because he's already getting an insane amount from the special artifact. And he's getting health regen. We could probably just solo the stage, to be honest. Because she's unlimited activation, she's unlimited activation. And to be honest, I think I'll just do this and this. And that's about all I'm going to put down, just because if I put down Suzerain, she'll die. And I'm not too worried about this. I don't know how to feel about the light mechanic though, because when you're playing on the harder difficulties, you're going to leak some enemies every now and then. And so if you're getting punished even harder, because to be fair, unless you die in IS2, you can just walk it off and just go on your merry way. You can get dumpstered if it gets super punishing. Because seriously, the only mechanic I've seen like that in a roguelike is in Darkest Dungeon. And if you play zero light runs in that game, which I used to do, I've beaten that game like a few times. I haven't played Darkest Dungeon 2, but I beat the original one on the hardest difficulty a couple times. You'll not have a good time. Zero light runs are so hard. Because in that game, it basically just makes every, like, the way I always expect it is, like, if a bad result can happen, it's going to happen. I really wish it would stop giving me supporter vouchers. I guess we'll just take Suzerain upgrade. Wish fulfilled. What have we got? Bank of Gold check or Hand of Pulverization. I do not know what this is. Oh, you can see it. Artillerymen, Splash Casters. Oh, okay, so they added something for... I actually like that because this was a niche that was not super good. Makes like Rosemontis a little more attractive to use. W. Splash Casters. Trying to think of a good example. Isn't Mostima a Splash Caster? But we will be taking the Bank of Gold check. How do you reroll? I have no idea. Can you not reroll this dice? Do I have a reroll? I might have to look that up if I can't figure it out. Tomb of All Memory has been updated, okay. Oh, we don't have a dice roll. Well, that would explain it. Separation and Unity. So we did get a... Wait, no, isn't this the one we did? Can't remember. You would assume there's a small pool. I think I'm gonna go for the safe house. The downside of getting so much command XP early is it kind of front loads a lot of your power. Which isn't like a huge issue, but it could be. If we like dump all our hope on expensive operators, which I probably will do. Just something to keep in mind. We don't have Texas Altar to deal with the enemies that come down this side. But I will probably drop Suzerain here, I think. It's at least some sustain, so if we keep giving her a bunch of DP, or SP, sorry, she'll be able to protect people a little better. We do need her to be in the ring. It's better than nothing, anyway. We're not going to make the most use of her, you know, slowing field with the Talon expansion, but that's fine. I think we have a reasonable enough amount of damage that that's less of a concern, and it's more of a concern of dying to, like, these. Uh-oh. How much damage is that? I have a bad feeling about this stage. Oh no, we crammed all of these together. Oh goodness. We might die. I mean, Suzerain can use their skills super often, but we don't have Destreza active. Because if he had Destreza active, he could destroy the spiders before they even get there. Okay. Okay, yeah, no, we should be fine. As long as Suzerain stops killing them... Okay. That had me a little nervous, actually. A silence might be helpful. You know, Tex Altar, I think, can just kill them. But, like, a Lapland might have value here. I don't have my J raised. I keep trying to raise them, because, honestly, 4-star units are really nice to raise as well, just because you don't even need the fancy chips you need. Like the ones you have to make in the workshop. Can't ever remember the names. I know what they look like, but you can just get the farm the stage and get it. Super nice. Yeah, this knight hasn't really done anything, but he looks cool. Mission accomplished. That's... I don't know, I can't get over... I think that's really cool, and it seems like he just always stands right in front of the objective. Which could be really helpful for certain runs. Oh, I was thinking Shelter, but we'll take a free Stormeye. Good to see you, old buddy. I think we actually get rid of Myrtle. Okay. But I do dislike how slowly you get command XP now, but like I was saying, I can completely understand why they did it. It makes sense. That might not have been the unit to start with, actually. Actually, we should be fine. It's the good old knight. I don't know. They're usually pretty good about not adding too much range damage early on in these stages. You don't just get dumpstered because you don't have a healer. But well, immediately afterwards we run into a range unit that dumpsters Stormeye a little bit. That's also part of the reason I like Cardigan, is Spot's skill can heal the people in the adjacent 4 tiles, but it takes him so much longer to get it that it can actually be a little sketchy, in my experience. Whereas Cardigan can just be placed after, say, like Caster or Sniper, and then continually just heal herself. Very nice stuff. Ultimately, the one thing I do think is funny is for how powerful guards are in this mode. It feels to me like, I'm just gonna do this. It does feel to me like the options for free guards aren't the best. You have Melantha, who is actually used in an all, I think it's like Kiostin V's, I want to say is how I've been told you pronounce it. His like low op clears. But I've never been a big fan of any Dreadnought that's not Neural Alter. And then like Midnight is provides range damage, but not that much. You did a great job, Suzerain. Free Cliffheart? I'm actually gonna drop Text Alter. Gotta keep in mind, we are literally just going to the 5th stage and then I'm gonna dip, so... Light's still at 100, squad size limit could be good, but I'm gonna greedy play. We have a ton of hope right now, but... Lose 3 ingots with a chance to gain... Surely, right? Did we win? My goodness. I'll take it. Didn't think I was gonna win that. I haven't seen this stage before. This stage just seems like it'll be better for a comp. I don't feel like Myrtle's super necessary right now. Much as I've talked her up, we don't have any particularly expensive units. That's a strange tile. I'm just gonna... Oh wait, no we're not. I was considering just putting him there, but I changed my mind after I saw how quickly they moved. Alright, we need you to not kill Thorns. Please. Is Thorns' regeneration... Okay, no, I was about to say, I thought... I was like, wait, am I an idiot? So many times in games like this I like realize something, I'm like, I thought it was this way for such a long time, but it just takes a second for Thorns to get his regen back. Down now. Oh, necessary. Is there a Duck Lord here? Or bear? No, okay. It's gonna get some use to. Even after like hundreds of hours, literally, I think, at this point of playing IS2, I still don't have like hardly any stages memorized by like enemy count on whether or not we have a Duck or Bear Lord. Which is important to note, because it kind of drastically changes how you use your skills towards the end of a run for some characters. Like, Neural Alter can usually just kill one of them by herself if S3 is up, but if you used it too early, you just don't get to. Golden Glow upgrade. Alright, we still don't have a medic, or like any healing, outside of the special tile and Suzerain, so... I'm a little nervous. That's not a terrible tile for that. I'm just gonna trust in the knight to stay alive, I think. And then we'll have hopefully Texas Alter hold the top side. Activate that now, because we'll probably get the value. I don't know how many of these will drop. And I'm really hoping the boss does not drop topside. Because if it does, we're in trouble. Yeah, whoever's on this tile, it seems like, until maybe endgame is... Ah. Well, that's not good. I would have pointed him upwards if I'd known that would be the case. At least the floor 3 boss is usually going to take away 3 lives. Wait. Huh? Unless this is the mini boss. It might be. Okay. Amia here. I know it's not the most exciting thing to watch a Thorn-centric team, but like... Oh, unless this thing just doesn't die until this guy's dead? Would be my next guess. Would be unfortunate. Yeah, I can't even kill Thorns because of that. Yeah, that's somewhat concerning because this thing isn't moving. I mean, Thorns can just kill it over and over, but... Yeah, okay. Oh boy. Gotta protect him. Wonder if it gets stronger every time too. Hey, stop that. Yeah, that seems to be the case. You have to kill this thing maybe over and over until the top thing's dead. That is a unique design. I don't think we've seen something like that in Arknights before. Does mean you probably need to either have like a medic and a long range carry for the top side, or just 2 melee carries. We still don't have a medic. That could be good for Thorns. I'm just gonna grab Soraya. It's something. Give me the 6, okay. I'm gonna be honest, we just have to reach the 5th floor. I might avoid fights on this floor and just end it. I'd love to go to a shop though with this many ingots. Regional commissions, what's this? Communication terminals, so... Oh, okay, clear the next 4 battles during which... Oh, okay, so you have commissions, you can make things harder for yourself. Defender, guards, that would kill me. I'm just gonna do this. Enter a safe house. I mean, it's not like we can donate to the machine. Let's just do this. I'm curious what happens when you solve that quote-unquote commission. And entering a safe house is very easy to guarantee, whereas doing it without guards would have been impossible with our current comp. We actually just would have been bloated. Oh, Texas Alter just got dumpstered. I thought maybe she'd be able to kill one. She didn't even get damage down. We'll have to wait till they kind of come out a little bit. I don't know how much range they have. Can they hit her from here? Yes! Oh, right, and they're ranged. Anyway. Please don't kill Golden Glow. Yeah, that is awkward. I forgot about that. That would explain why Texas Alter didn't do any damage. Anyway. I will say I much prefer just a small chunk of damage to nervous impairment. Which does also exist here, but makes life a little bit easier. Yeah, I know I keep saying it, but like I just feel like Thorns is practically necessary for doing this mode until I figure out a better strategy. I'd love to do some niche knights though. Now that you can use like the same operators in the squad, I think Abyssal Hunters could be even more fun. I know people really love doing Abyssal Hunters in general, but like being able to use... I mean, before, I think the only hard choice to be fair was probably between using Scotty or Sculptor, and I think you still use Scotty because honestly it's Gladia has the regeneration talent, but I don't have Adriana leveled, and my original Spectre is only like E170, but still. Now we finally get to use Neural 89, and I have the new skin for her. I love Neural. She's one of those units that, like, you know... I guess, like, the way I would describe it is, like... know she's meant to be, like, the paladin, like, knight type character. But, like, she's just gotta be one of those, like, reassuring allies to have. Like, Neural shows up and you just know everything's gonna be alright. I still remember how cool the short was where she just jumped down out of the sky and saved Flametail. I liked her in the anime too. She only showed up for like the first couple episodes so far, but I know they're doing Perish and Frost as well. Yeah, we haven't even shown off, like, we haven't showed off E2 Texas Alter yet, now that I think about it. And she is busted. I mean, she decimates everything. It's actually kind of insane. Little Golden Glow. Golden Glow ascribes to the thought of nothing can hit your caster if they never reach your caster. You know, I'm thinking about it too. If I had Silver Ash would probably work pretty well for this mode too. A Lapland might be a good low-cost hope start. Yeah, she doesn't do well against just one-shot enemies though. Like the bear, Texas doesn't get to do a lot of damage to, I've found. That's like the one weakness she has. Which for an Executor, if she didn't get one shot with that, she would be a little busted. Supporter voucher. I mean, that was the last fight we had to do for this thing here. Yep, enter one safe house node. So, and then you just get rewards like a commission. In a key. What's a key? You've earned this. What's it for? Painful happiness or a couple. This is probably smooth sailing. A 2 is smooth sailing, so as long as you don't get a 1, you're okay. Sounds like 2 and 3 are maybe like neutral option rolls. Huh. Oh, did they add things so you can change path? That's nuts. Because if you could go like here and take extra fights, that'd be pretty good. I have no idea what this is for though. And as curious as I am, if you weren't still at Coastal, oh, okay. But we completed that, I think. Yeah, we got the 3 recordings. We should have gotten all the rewards. I just don't really see the point in finishing the run for those. I'd like to get on to another run and actually unlock some stuff. We'll probably do one or two more runs today because of how long these runs take. I don't know when the next stream we'll do of IS3 will be, but we'll definitely do at least a few more. I still have no idea what else I'll stream. I mean, Genshin has a pretty good Invocation TCG event going on right now, which I've been enjoying, but aside from that, I just really can't think of anything until Fontaine there to stream. And Star Rail, as much, I've enjoyed Star Rail a lot, actually. I got really lucky, just because, same with Genshin, I'm pretty much just like an occasional BP, but usually just monthly pass player on those games. I got Bronya as my first 5-star, and I got her, like, pretty early from the standard banner, and then I got Sela, like, immediately. It was real nice. I'm planning on saving for either Silver or maybe Silver and Kafka if I get lucky. But like Sela Bronya in that game made everything trivial, and now I'm at the point where I'm just farming artifacts again. So if I wanted to really like play through that again, I'd probably have to make a new account until they release some more, which is fair. It's still a pretty new game, and I think that's what Genshin hit pretty early on. I do also wonder, and part of the reason I want to stream this today or tomorrow, actually, is I wasn't sure if they would do, like, because it's the 30th today. I don't know if they're going to count this as the May monthly squad, because this dropped on the 23rd. I don't know why they delayed it, because usually Arknight's updates drop on a Thursday, and it dropped on a Tuesday. But I've heard a couple things. So I've heard it was like potentially to coincide with a specific date. I can't remember what it was, but someone had a theory about that. And the other person said it was Nami's birthday, which I did watch her stream on that. And even if the Siracusa event doesn't really have anything to do with that, I think that's actually really wholesome if that's the reason. She is the designer behind Mizuki. Really wholesome person too. I've watched a few of her streams. Some of her content. Very talented too. Like, just super cool person to watch. Anyway, what do we got here? So it seems like you just get... Oh, okay. That might be why it felt like we were getting such low command XP, if you kind of earn that over time. The drifting cash feature. I don't know what that is, but let's see what it is. Friendly units HP, friendly units defense. Moving cells ratio. A lot of this, I have no idea what it means. I'm gonna be honest. I think it's cool that they added a different system, though, of upgrading, because before there was something similar to this, but it was like a left or right thing. And it didn't feel like you... I mean, we could look at it now, I guess. Behind the scenes. Like, it didn't feel to me like it was crazy helpful. Like, you got the candle efficiency points, which past a point does nothing. The deployment limit was nice, but it was like just basic stats, which, to be fair, a lot of this so far does seem like it just affects basic stats, like 2% HP. But if they're affecting, like, living cells, people-oriented squad stuff, like, that's super cool. But let's just hop into another run. Oh, okay. So we did unlock the Tactical Destruction Squad. You know, being randomly promoted, that's interesting. Okay, so they changed it. So instead of just being, these are immediately promoted, now they cost 2 less hope to recruit, 1 less hope to promote, so 3 less overall, and have a high chance of just being randomly promoted. I don't know if that means, like, promoted on recruitment, or just like, hey, I'm minding my own business, all of a sudden it's promoted. That'd be pretty funny. Either way, that's still very helpful. So what all do we have again? 200 ingots, that'll just be a few more runs. 10 life points remaining. It's ironic that that's for Spirit Squad. I hate Spearhead Squad. It's my least favorite squad to use. I just die randomly early on so much when I use this. This will be really helpful. 5 Vanguard Guards. I mean, these ones you'll get just eventually. Command XP, you'll get that eventually. 20 Operators. None of these seem super hard to get, which is nice because... honestly, I remember some of these being really painful. I wonder if you can still get the vouchers that make it so that you... which one is it? The vouchers that make it, like, for example, the one that makes it so every supporter voucher you get from then on is a recruit any operator type thing. Because those are really nice. Because some of them, like guard, you'll never... I personally will never use, but like the supporter one could be really good. And we did get the badgers. Let's try a different one. Does have a chance to yield an additional collectible, could be really good. Let's do the Tactical Destruction. Oh, and you do get this bonus, okay. I don't like doing this one, and I don't like losing my... If they have to lose the starting ingots now that it's 6 instead of like 18, that might not be as detrimental. Just 5 ingots. And then... let's do this. So no random promotion that I would have wanted. In fact, none of these guys are E2 for me to begin with. Take Spectre Altar. Take Cruise. And you know, actually, I thought about Myrtle. I'm going to pass and take Fang, because our first level up then could give us another 6-star. I do not mind the fact that those aren't instant promotions, though. Ooh, we have Commission early on. Let's see, though. I don't know if it'll be the same as IS2, where if we've unlocked a second or third ending, I would assume you have access to those ones pretty early on. Just by the fact that it showed the 3 dots for endings. But we'll see. See who can really tell. I don't mind this start though, because ordinarily I actually take Spalter S1 if I start with her, if I don't have any other blockers. But because I have Fang behind her with 2 block, I can feel free to use this, and then if she goes into Dollkeeper form, I don't have to worry about an enemy crossing. I will say the Dolk does not do nearly as much damage as it does when you have the... I mean, it's pretty much what the point of the module is. The X module. Is specifically making the doll do a ton of damage. But overall, for the first couple of streams, honestly, and I will be grinding this off stream, I think, a little bit. I just wanted my first try on this to be on stream. Figured it'd be a good way to come back after not streaming for a little bit. Probably just to fill up like the bank, try some things. If I complete some runs, I'll set it in next stream. I think it's Tuesday today. We'll probably try and stream her on Friday, Saturday. And then once I'm able to find work, because it did take me a while to get those. Basically, I think I described it, but I was working at a lumber company, and I found out that I have, I'm allergic to like tree pollen, which isn't super uncommon, but I always thought it was just, my parents always called it hay fever. I thought it was like to tumbleweeds and stuff, but I went to an allergist and they were like, yep, your lungs are not having a good time. So it took me a while, and like I was taking 2 inhalers actually for about a month and a half before that fixed, and it's been, I know, about 2.5 months since I streamed, so I took a little break after that. But super excited to be streaming again. I really enjoy it. Let's grab Soraya. See what this commission is. So, for the next 4 battles with an enemies being buffed, that could make an emergency op horrifying. I'm just curious at what, like... Let's try this. This might kill me. We might have to avoid taking an emergency op if possible. But we'll see. I'm really curious what this will give me, though. Is this? This. Hopefully Cruz doesn't die to this guy. I completely forgot about that minor detail. But then I was gonna let Fang time that in and then do that. Don't know how useful Fang will be in the rest of the stage. This is a bit of a weird stage in my opinion, just because it feels like you basically have the use of like 2 melees, and then everything else has to be a little isolated. It seems like Soraya healing might be just enough to keep Cruz alive as long as there's only 1 archer targeting her. Speak of the devil. And it is worth noting, I mean, we did intentionally allow enemies to be buffed here. But the pizza cutter's got it under control. No, people always call that. It really does just remind me of the whirligig saw from Bloodborne. But to be fair, I also called that the pizza cutter back in the day, so... I'm gonna take that as you will. Another defender. I'm more willing to use caster since we have this, but... I'm gonna wimp out. Ah, I'd love to take that. That's... Sorry, Mr. Knight. Oh. Free pudding. Or perfumer, sorry. Always make that mistake, don't know why. We didn't get the investment system, which is interesting, but we can just promote perfumer. Victor's Horn might not have been bad. I didn't even see what that was. Ah! Can I reroll that? Did I have a reroll? Oh. Didn't do anything? I'm very confused. Let's take this. Didn't even matter what it is at this point. Now that we have a medic, I feel much more confident. I mean, we have a promoted perfumer real early on. I don't even know if we'll put down cardigan, to be honest. I'd like some range DPS though. But if we're gonna take a contract like that, for the rewards, we do ideally probably want to fight as much as we can early on. So we might take the next emergency op. I was just a little worried without a medic that that previous one would kill us. I think we get 5 hope after this level up. Memory serves. Oh, let's drop cardigan. What are we looking for? Caster Specialist would be ideal. I would accept another Defender voucher to upgrade Siracusa once we have hope. Very nice. Oh, we only get 4. 15 cash few items can be found inside. Okay. Oh. That's what the keys are for. Good to know. We didn't get anything out of it. Another medic voucher. We'll just take Ansel. I think we can do this one. We're not even gonna bring Ansel along, but let's see how this goes. If we're going to die... Oh, why do we have 40 starting to be... Anyway. I mean, if we're going to die, this will probably be where it happens. In all honesty. The problem is the last time we faced this stage, we kind of used Texas Alter to just kill all these guys. Yeah, I don't think Thing's gonna be able to do that. Oh my goodness. There's only 22 enemies on this stage. So if we can just turtle up, hopefully we'll be okay. I'd be lying if I said I wasn't worried. But we'll see. In all honesty, maybe we should just force Thorns at the start. I'm sitting here thinking like, oh goodness, yeah, we're leaking enemies. I mean, there's not much I can do here except use oh my goodness. I mean, to be fair, it did say it was the hardest contract. It's proving itself. An emergency op with an extra 30% buff on it is hurting. I want to see what it gives us. And we'll survive, only 2 health down. It would have admittedly been a lot less sketchy if we'd gotten like any voucher that wasn't a medic voucher there, but oh well. Light becomes weaker. We only lost 5. What we got? We got a life point back. Okay, so that didn't raise our max life. Good to know. Minnesota. I mean... And 1 dice room. 5 or higher. Okay, that's interesting. So, I realized that we had to unlock the drifting caches, but honestly, maybe we shouldn't have, because we're getting these drifting caches that we can't even use. I guess they're mostly just rewards, though. rather than an actual encounter tile, so probably doesn't matter. Our voucher luck is not doing us too many favors right now. When you consider that we could have used... At this point I would have been happy with like Specialist, Caster, Sniper, Defender. Vanguard wasn't great. Medic is not the best at this point. Oh, they still killed Cruz? Huh. I guess that makes it less... Oh, wait, is this a thorny chest? Oh, that's interesting. In that case, we'll probably put her here when she's up and hopefully try to get rid of that. I didn't even see the spikes on that. That's an interesting mechanic. It makes sense, though, so it's not just like a free reward. I want to say this is our last battle for the chest, too, I think, right? That's helpful. Alright, Perfumer, keep Cruz alive if you can. Put down some extra block. I don't know if we'll be able to get it in time. Just because she'll attack whoever's furthest forward, which will not be the chest for some time. Unless this guy stays here for a while. Ah, and right as I say that it moves, that's awkward. Yeah, the value of a fast redeploy operator seems like it'll skyrocket in this mode. Yeah, that dumpstered Cruz. Jeez, that's pretty funny. There's some max hope. Finally, a good voucher. We're grabbing thorns. We're grabbing thorns. Alright, what do we got from the contract? Please collect the rewards. So, 8 ingots, 2 keys. What's this? When obtained, suppresses a designated character. Okay, well, I don't have a current reaction. Random high quality collectible. I'm gonna take the random high quality collectible. I would like to see what's inside those chests, but that just seems like a good idea. The Royal Brooch, okay. That's not bad. 3 life points per gain ingots. 6 life points per gain 4 max. It seems like after a lot of emergency ops, you just heal a little bit, so there is a difference between max life and life, which is new just because before there was just objective HP. Wish fulfilled. What have we got? Extra life points or grabs to gain an attack when not using a skill. Ends when the skill ends. To be fair, with something like the Strayza, I think that's just max attack, isn't it? Unless I'm misunderstanding. Smooth sailing is fine. Black tulip, yep. I'd assume if you roll a 1, you might just not get your free collectible, which would be a bummer. Out the path of hell. What is this? Let's go lower path and see if we can't get onto onto that. A free 2 ingots, huh? So it gives you free 2 ingots and then you can bet with them. We lost. I'm gonna bet again. We won that one. Okay, perfect. There's not even a rogue trader on this floor, but still helpful. We didn't end up doing this stage, I think, last time. Do we grab Thorn? Pop out Cardigan. Like, the overall power level of enemies in this mode doesn't seem to be that high. But again, they've nerfed so many things, like, that were broken in the previous IS. So, I can't say I think it's, like, super, like, an issue. I also can't say that I think the current integrated strategy so far seems harder than IS2. I think IS2 was harder. Which is fine by me, honestly. IS2 gave me a lot of grief when I was using Spearhead Squad earlier. I think I did like 1 or 2 attempts for, what is it, Research Squad. I did the Caster Specialist one. And then I tried Spirit Squad like 5 or 6 times and I just got dumpstered every single time. I could not get a play right run with the with that to save my life. That was a little sketchy. If Spelter hadn't gotten back up or right, then we could have been in trouble. What is that? I should have paused that and seen what it did, but we might be in trouble here. Maybe not. I'd assume this thing's just gonna come out here, so... Our DPS is not high. Oh. Oh. Did we just die? I mean, using Perfumer skill wouldn't do anything here. To be fair, we don't exactly have the highest DPS here, but I did not think we would be dying to a random... I don't think this is an emergency op. Right as I was talking about how I felt like this was easier too. Oh yeah, IS3 doesn't seem to be so hard. Immediately almost dies. Oh, we have the Bear Lord. I do not think we have the means to kill the Bear Lord right now, unfortunately. Even if we save Thorn's Skill. In fact, he might come through and just plow through our defenses while we're still trying to defend from this. Best I could do is try and hold Spalter skill. And I don't think that'll be enough. Goodbye, thing. Our DPS? Yeah, our DPS was so low that we died. That's unfortunate. Well, that's me being a little cocky, biting me pretty hard. Yeah, our DPS was so low we couldn't kill anything, and then the Bear Lord came through. Why did we get a medal for dying? I'll have to check what that is. Uso Scar's nice. I don't remember what this does. Well, that went poorly. Anyway. I keep clicking the wrong thing. So I got a medal. I can't even see what it... Oh. Group 40 operators. Okay. Own 100 collectibles. That shouldn't be too hard. Unlock 4 squads. Shouldn't be hard. 3 contract rewards with different memory mappings. That's just gonna take a few months. 65 in eco sequence. Surging waves 4, so get to a certain difficulty. Regional commissions, Raging Villa. In 2 endings. At this point, unless we want to go encounter hunting, I might eventually have to look up how you get other endings. We'll see though. I'd like to unlock a few more things though before we start doing harder surging waves levels. And a lot of these we'll just get as we go, so not a big deal. Well, let's try try Resourceful Squad actually. We can start out with a lot of die rolls. We will be doing this. I think he's just too necessary. And if you can get him promoted early, like... It's crazy. This will probably be my generic start. So we unlock some stuff and do some fun runs. Ooh. That's an interesting comparison. So the commissions seem really, really good. Like, we could just take an easy commission. The harder one was sketchy. I don't know if we'll be doing the hardest one again. But just doing a free one, like enter a safe house, enter a commission, you know? Or enter an encounter, I mean. Shouldn't be hard. It'd give us some free rewards. I do like that they gave us this, though. I feel like that's meant to be a bit of a failsafe, so people aren't just dying early on. Like, in fact, we'll probably use it here. The problem with early on, and I think some of these stages, is there's not a whole lot that you can do in terms of counterplay. Like, you start with 3 operators, outside of maybe activating their skills. Like, here we're gonna leak a couple. We might just die, actually. Oh. Huh. That's unfortunate. Wow, we succeeded. Like, we straight up won our first run, and now we've gotten dumpstered twice in a row. But that's a perfect example of how I was dying in IS2. Sometimes there just isn't a whole lot of... I don't think I could have done anything else there, to be honest. Let's go back to tactical destruction then. We'll try Spalter start again. Oh, sick! We got it as the free upgrade. In that case, we should be okay. But that is a perfect example. Like, there isn't a whole lot to have been done there. We just kind of got unlucky. We are definitely going to go bottom path here. Hmm. Yeah, I can't imagine we'll lose. Fingers crossed with a E2 Spalter at the start. I mean, the amount of DPS that her doll will do will kill everything, and her S2 will also probably do a lot of damage. Like, the base stats of having an E2 unit this early, yeah. The base stats of having an E2 unit this early is kind of nuts. Because I think the base doll keeper's like 30%, and I think it's, yeah, it's 80% now. It is kind of funny to me though, because like I've tried like Kazemaru and a couple other units a little bit, and it's a startling difference how much stronger some of the units are in this game when you realize it. Like, kind of blows my mind. And that's part of the point in higher lower rarity, you know, especially with IS having the hope cost, but still. The difference between, you know, Tex Alter and any other Executor in this game is also nuts. Do have 6 starting hope. Will not be taking that. We have seen like a disproportionate, I swear, amount of supporters. Let's see. Oh, 6 or greater in a die roll. I mean, we only have 1 die roll. That's unlikely to happen, so we're gonna take the 2 encounter nodes. And gaining light might not have been too difficult, but I'd rather just take the guaranteed reward, because I think the cheapest one we did it the first time gave us 1 key. I mean. Interesting. Not a whole lot to say though. I think about the start of this run is basically just pop Spalter down with a unit behind her so there's block behind her when she's in doll form, and just let her kill everything. Not too difficult. But I gotta say, overall, I'm pretty happy with IS3 so far, even if we've been getting pooped on. I was really hoping for a mode that I would enjoy just as much as IS2, and they've delivered. I think I will play this mode a lot. We Cruise can get rid of. Oof. So we had the same problem. We put Orchid here, but she wasn't able to kill that in time, and then it's right as she does that and hits herself. It looks like we have. Ooh, do we have the Duck Lord? Hopefully, I was hoping that Spalter wouldn't go down there so we could use her skill. This could be really poor timing. Ooh, especially for the Duck. I wonder if this works on the Duck though, because I don't think she'll. Oh, maybe she will. Oh, if he just sits there, we're golden. Perfect. Restarting collectible, always nice. Always really nice. Alright, we got a die roll. That, we got our medic. Free hope. We're looking pretty solid this run. I swear sometimes integrated strategies or any roguelike is just banging your head against the wall until you get a good run. Like, the amount of times I died on Enter the Gungeon Oh, okay, so you can use a key on these dotted lines to get an extra stop. So we could finish our commission immediately. I'm not going to do that. I'm going to save the key. But I do really... Oh, we would have gotten an extra die roll immediately. But seriously, it just feels like smashing your head against the wall until you get one to run. So this is SP recovery of Core Caster, Mystic Caster, and Summoner Operators. The fact that they have nerfed some collectibles and squads and such makes me wonder if they've nerfed the Hand of Diffusion Passenger strat. Because it was basically a free win. Can't imagine that that'll be helpful to me here. Pick the promotion for Perfumer. And then, you know, we have to spare Hope. I was about to say we're going to grab Myrtle, but I guess we'll take a free Saga. But you can refresh. Then one die roll. Randomly refreshes 2 shop slots. The roll is fire. Refresh all slots. It's 7. How would you roll 7 or higher on a 6-sided dice? Am I missing something? Oh, we got a 6. We got an Enlightenment. Did I get the operator on the battlefield? Oh, sales pursuit. I wonder if that's permanent. I was actually really down for the just free huge boost in XP. But if that's just permanent healing on whoever's lowest health, that's also very, very nice. We're gonna go bottom path. Much as I'd love the extra combat. Well, actually, yeah, it'd be 3 combats versus 1, but it's 1 in an emergency op. I think the collectible might have a little bit more value. I'm willing to give... Let's hire the knight. Wonder what he'll spawn on, like, boss fights, but... What we got here? So we could get a key, random collectible, 3 objective shield. 3 objective shield could be really, really good if that's permanent. Like, every single fight. But we're gonna go full greed. 1 deployment limit, all friendly units gain XP. I mean HP, that's fine. Is this, yeah, okay. We got an extra fight anyways. I literally cannot imagine now that we'll have any trouble with anything ahead of us. We got a free Saga, we got an upgraded Perfumer, and we still have our strong Spalter. I think we should be fine for some time. I just forget how loud Saga is. She's very excitable. Can we heal the knight? I can't tell. It looked like it. We're at that weird point you sometimes run into though where we have a much higher deployment limit than we can actually use. Like, we're up 2 slots and I think we're at max squad space right now too, aren't we? Interesting stuff. And that is part of the downside in... I think it might make, if that, the extra 2 deployment, extra 2 squad space squad still exists, that might be part of it, because that squad was terrible. Because between all the collectibles and the XP and everything, you almost always gained max anyways. So it just kind of defeated the purpose. But this knight is going to town on these slugs. Like, I will never turn my nose up at a free unit with 3k HP. I wonder if it scales with, like, floor. Or if he's just always at this strength. Cut card. You know what time it is, and so do I. Yeah, we are at max squad space. Let's get rid of Orchid. But yeah, I always keep a list in my head of like what operators I would like to get from a certain point onwards. Oh. We definitely want, obviously, our upgrades. I would like Texas Altar, I would like Soraya. Those are pretty high up on the list right now. What else? Texas Altar, Soraya, Chalter would be good. I mean, kind of cookie cutter to use who we won with last time. Who else could be really good? A caster could be good with the squad setup we have. Galadia could also be good. Really just depends on what exactly they mean by randomly upgraded, because I would assume that's just whenever we recruit a caster or specialist, they might be upgraded, you know? So if one or the other was just randomly upgraded, we might just choose them or the other over the other. Same with casters. If I'm randomly offered a 6-star caster for 2 less hope that's already upgraded, I probably will take it. In fact, based on RNG, I think that could be stronger than just being automatically upgraded. Because then you could get them for 4 hope pre-upgraded, or you could have to pay a total of 6 still, technically, yeah. We can't get Soraya here. We'll grab Cardigan. It's a shame, though, with, like, the hope system, because there's so many ops that I'm a huge fan of that I would love to use, that we just realistically won't have space for, or the hope for. And that is one downside of having built so many expensive units early on. Is then it kind of comes back to bite you in that instance. Let's get rid of that chest if we can. I would really like some free stuff. Oh, I think I faced... Oh, I meant to face Spalter down. That's awkward. I really do wonder if they just told the voice actor for Saga, we just want you to shout all of your lines at the top of your lungs. Just go ham. She might go down here. Let's actually up this. Oh, we got a 6. I wonder if that actually counts for the, you know, that probably would have counted for the commission. Didn't even think about that. I forgot that that counted as a die roll, because then if you get that commission, you could just pop that every single fight for no reason, because a lot of times it doesn't feel necessary. And just let it see what happens. Which is an interesting thought. We're 1 short of a level up. Oh, it's fine then, we didn't get a good one. Specialist operators being stronger is huge. And so... I swear in this game mode though, you either don't get any medic vouchers or you like only get medic vouchers. We'll take the extra hope. We'll level up with the next fight anyways. Ooh! And we got an extra collectible, right? Oh, not as helpful, but... That actually could be really good with Mostimas too. 700 free damage every single time while they're stunned. We will be going bottom path. Yep. We get the same dreadful foe. I think we've seen that one. It's weird just because I used to remember these stages based solely on like what the boss actually was. So like I'd remember Jetman, I'd remember the twins, just the weird looking slug thing that crawls in its own lane, and that's how I would remember it. But here I have no memory of what it is because I don't know what it is. So I have no idea. Oh, Mr. Knight's going off. Oh, I forgot to check if we still have the blessing. Looks like the regen off of Perfumer does still affect the Knight, but... I'm talking about the blessing where it's like the lowest HP ally recovers health. Because that could make a big difference. We'll see. I mean, some units that low cost that I've heard I would raise and would be really good for IS2 or IS3 would be like Cutter, Jay, a few other options. The issue is like, especially part of the reason I ever raised Cutter is, if I'm ever in a position to get a 6-star guard in IS2, I'm going to get a 6-star guard. There's just too much value there to be had. So, it kind of cheapens the value of raising and investing resources in that. And now with Tex Alter and Glaudia and Spalter, it's kind of the same thing with specialists. But having a cheap medic like Perfumer that's such high value is nice. That's a big thing. Our knight's gonna go down. In fact, he might take care of all three of these guys until maybe Spalter. Wouldn't be a huge issue, but that is scary. Oh my goodness. It's a shame you literally can't kill Spalter when Restu's active, huh? Alright, I'll take it. That stage, I think, could be really dangerous as an emergency op. Guard, perfect. Ooh, a free Ire Escape. Let's not get distracted. I think that's a bit too much. The ocean has no more knights, and Mizuki is able to return to his journey. Okay. We do still have the Enlightenment, that's good to know. It didn't look like it affected the knight, but to be fair, I think that makes sense. The knight isn't exactly ours. He's like an allied unit. The way I described it is like Fire Emblem, he's a green unit. Oh, he's just gone. Oh. That changes things a little bit. I thought he would be here until... Oh. I'm so sorry, Mr. Knight. That does make sense, but that is not what I thought was going to happen there. As always, it would be nice to get a collectible that lets Thorns get his ability off a little bit earlier. Last time we had the Captain's Morgan's Mine, which meant we didn't have to feed him attacks. Give these guys some backup. But here he should be able to use the first activation and pop off. I just saw this. Maybe we should have saved one of the vanguards for that. Awkward. The fact that this guy didn't die makes me nervous too, because Destreza just timed out. Let's hold up. And pop it now. We got a 1. Better than nothing, I suppose. It's still a positive effect. I was worried that was going to nerf my units, actually. No! Oh, no. Oh, he died like 1 auto too fast. That stings too, because now we have like no backup for the top path. It's Fang and Cruise damage. We might lose some life here because of that. Well, at least this guy came down here. Yeah, we're losing 2 lives. That's unfortunate. Oh, he dumpstered Thorns like an instant too early. Maybe I shouldn't have dropped Cruise as early as I did. She kind of took some attacks away from Thorns. Do I have Soraya? I do not. We level up soon too, so we get free stuff. So what do we got? Promotion voucher, which would be for Soraya. Was squad space an option? No. Oh yeah, okay. I'm gonna take that. Random collectible. I don't want to mess around with the curse collectible right now. 2 max life point, recover 2. So they changed what that did. I think that used to just be 6 life points, unless that's... So we didn't get punished for losing our life. Nest. We did see this one earlier. Yeah, squad space is turning into a bit of a hot commodity if you don't get a collectible for it. Honestly, from what I've seen, this doesn't seem like the worst emergency op to get. But it doesn't seem crazy favorable either. Don't think we'll have a problem right now, but always important, I think, to note. Because I think until at least stage... Like, sometimes I don't take it on stage 5 or stage 6 when you're going for an ending that has a stage 6. But I think, early to mid-game you always want to take emergency ops unless you literally will die. Gotta return. I don't remember which direction I pointed. I guess it wouldn't have mattered there, but... We'll just hold on to these two. I'm not going to worry about that. I feel like we've been ignoring these chests, and they seem like they have some pretty decent value. But I'd rather not run the risk. I'm gonna be honest, I didn't remember at first that this knocks off their skill points a little bit, but I don't think it's an issue with Spalter. I really do hope the skill tree gives you some temporary life points though, because that's kind of my failsafe in IS2 is like, okay, if I leaked one enemy, you know, I'm still fine. It really did mess with Spirit Squad and a lot of the one life collectibles though. Extra defense doesn't hurt. An extra guard is good. Now I would say, looking at our current squad, all I want is solid sniper, caster or two, and then Texas Altar. If I get those two things, I would feel really confident. Right, let's dump Neural immediately, just so she can get her skill ticking up. I gotta say, I really love the animations on her new skin too. I think they look so good. Next has to be Thorns to build up Destreza. Then it's probably Healer. Then Soraya, then Spalter. Spalter doesn't need to be in Healer's range. Oh my goodness. Okay, that thing kind of hurts. I don't think Spalter needs to be in range of a healer. I doubt there's enough range damage to kill her in doll form. Although now that I think about it, I probably should have hung on so that Destreza would build up. I always forget to do that and it always bites me around. This guy has 3 ammo now. Huh. Maybe it was easier on the first try. I wouldn't be surprised if they did something like that for you. Until you've won for the first time, it's a little bit nerfed. Because if those 3 bullets just kill someone, I'm going to be really sad. Oh, it seems like he kind of split his focus there. Unless he reloads. He's reloading. Oh no. Well, hopefully Spalter's skill is up back in time. And she can just tank the boss when he gets down here. There goes a healer. Alright, let's slow this down a little bit. Never mind. Alright, as long as he doesn't reload again. Not to jinx myself. I'll probably be okay. Yeah, we're fine. That was a little sketchy. You're gonna have to be aware of the fact that that entry sniper and then the boss will target the guys in the bushes because he's probably out of range of that bottom row. Hopefully you can get something with Memories of the Shard might be good, but let's take Brilliant Lament. And... oh, sick. Okay. Perfect. Right after I talked about it. It's the first time we'll get the show off actually promoted Texas Altar because we've had her and then she hasn't been... oh, okay. Can I re-roll that, please? Not... what? It could have been a lot worse. That basically seems like it made them... yeah, it makes her into an executor. That actually might have been really funny on Texas Altar. I can't say I'm super happy about that. In fact, I'm gonna take her out for now, I think. But that could have been really bad on certain ops, like Soraya. It would have been super bad. Boot up this terminal. Survival. So this reminds me of the one where you pay 4 and then you can get like Blade Dance, Shadow, a few other things. I have no idea what they are, so let's try Growth. 5 light. That's not what I was hoping for. Good to know. Now we know not to take Growth next time. Oh, a corrosion. But even if we're still using S2 on Tex Alter, she was doing her job fairly well as an S1. So, you know, perfect example. Hopefully he doesn't hurt himself too much on that chest. Okay, please don't kill yourself, Thorns. I'm sorry. I should have... Oops. It's fine. It's fine, I messed up. I should have deployed Thorns where I just put Tex Alter. I just wasn't thinking. It's those kind of dumb mistakes that just make me kind of disappointed in myself more than anything. So it was just kind of stupid of me. The thought was, at first I was like, oh, okay, Thorns can just build Distrays on it, and then I saw how much he chunked himself, and I kind of just, oh my goodness. This is going poorly. This is not great. Because I'm still really scared about what the light loss will do. Fine, we got the chest. Hopefully, because it was a thorny chest, it gives us better rewards, because that hurt. That hurt a lot. Ooh, the Rat King. Hey, Rat King. And that's what Texas Alter S2 can do. She just shredded that thing and then gained all her health back. I do wonder though, because it would have been a hit in their DPS for sure to take the debuff kind of thing that they get. What it felt like, that seems like it just gives Blade Dance to an operator, from what I could tell. That when you could get like the sword or the hammer, or the hammer made all your operators cost like an extra 5 DP, but they got buffed, and then the sword basically made it like halved all their stats, but half the redeployment time. You could do some really funny builds. I saw you would do fast redeploy bagpipe by taking the blade, and then having the Vanguard redeployment time halved. Looked really funny. I never got it to work because I never got the events for it, but I could imagine that being insane with Texas Alter. Fight becomes weaker. Yeah, we kind of messed up there. Another medic. I am tempted to try Keltsit, in all honesty, but actually, let's grab this, because we'll still have enough for a 6-star unit. I really want to go top path as long as we don't die. Do I have enough anti-air to do this stage? I could do this. And this is where Texas the Omertosa being versatile I think might pay off. Or I might die here. One or the other will happen on this stage because it is an emergency op. Oh, it changes where those are. That's good to know. I did not know that would be the case. This might be slightly easier to position actually because I can put thorns there. And I'm just gonna start doing this. I don't really see a reason not to just start generating DP. I guess it again takes attacks away from thorns, but I'm not super worried about that. Ow. Gonna have to remember that, yeah, Saga has half health. Siracusa should help keep them alive. I want to pop this, I think, ASAP. At least one of them. And this is where Texas just shows up and kills everything. So funny. Like she's a strong unit. I guess I could have Saga start trying to get rid of this chest too. If she doesn't die. Oh right, we have the that Enlightenment Blessing is actually paying off real hard. It's probably going to be proccing on Saga a lot because she has such low max HP with the buff debuff that hit her, but that's something we will figure out later. But the regen's just keeping her alive, which is pretty funny. Wait, this. We don't need the extra deployment space, but if I'm understanding that correctly, it makes itself tankier so it won't just die. And given that we, you know, will lose life points if it dies, pretty important. Man, I just can't get over how much I like this unit. He's just so good. And I use the original Texas a lot. Not in IS2, but in just general play. I felt like she was really powerful. Actually, I mean, the fact too that she does, like her S2 just shreds res too, like, I can only imagine how much damage you could get off with an S2 Tex Alter at the same time as a, like a Twilight burst from Surtur. Would probably just annihilate just about anything in the game. The only downside is she does need to technically get the last hit, which isn't always guaranteeable. And this should be a free. I can't imagine us not being able to kill this guy. As tanky as the Bear Lord is. I mean, he just one-bop Texas, but given that we have Spalter over here, and we just keep dropping in Texas for some damage. I mean, she'd have like a 7-second redeployment time with that. It'd be pretty funny. Here's where we just start dumping units to try and buy time for Thorns to do DPS. Yeah, he might not even... Yeah, he didn't even make it to Spalter. Let alone the Neural behind him too. Alright, have a sniper voucher please. Ooh, we got this one. Alright, designates one deployable tile at the beginning. Friendly units have extra attack and attack speed. So we have one that'll give extra attack and attack speed, and one that'll recover SP and give max HP. I wonder if it will be the same tile, or if it can be a different one. How exactly that'll work, I have no idea. Anyway, continue onwards. Still a little worried about... Okay, they are different tiles. I'm admittedly still a little bit worried about defense. I mean, not defense, anti-air. Since it's really just Thorns, Texas Alter when we bring her S3, and then that. But Thorns was able to handle the boss by himself. And here we should be able to get like an insanely powerful healer. In fact, I could probably just put Neural on this tile because of that. Myrtle would be good as always too. I mean, I wasn't really worried about DP generation in the last fight last time, but that doesn't mean it might not be a problem. It just means it wasn't an issue there. Yeah, if the firebombs aren't even an issue then. Can't imagine anything else will be. I always forget to use Destreza though. Like, I feel like that's a telltale sign that I just don't use Thorns very often, is I just randomly don't pop Destreza. And then I'll realize a little bit later, I'm like, oh, that's awkward. In fact, I actually think this would be really good on a Myrtle. Like, there's so many units that I like the idea that you can put it on one unit. I dislike that you can't, you know, control who it's on. But the idea of having just that on one unit is potentially really scary. There's Destreza, now we can pop Spalter here. And we just start dropping Texas Alter on its head. I think this thing can do range... Oh, it doesn't matter. Oh. I'm sorry, Cruz. Didn't think you'd die that fast. I'm surprised by how many mini-bosses just randomly show up in these fights. I miscounted enemies. That's awkward. We'll probably still have enough DPS, but we won't have, maybe did that a little bit early. Ah, yeah, no, we're fine. I was gonna say, I wanted to face this guy head-on with Spalter skill active, but it's not even gonna come close to mattering. Just a little bit too strong. Hopefully this gives us a good collectible. I would take anything like power-based at this. Oh, we didn't level up. And we got another defender voucher. Well, on the plus side, we'll probably, if we win this run, we'll probably get the defender supporter squad. I think we're probably only one or so off. Alright, what have we got? Squad size limit would be good. 2 die rolls could be interesting. I'm taking the squad size limit. Secret HR letter of vampire bed, huh? I so want to take this, I just don't... We'll be greedy. I don't know if it'll matter, is the issue. The correct choice might have very well been vampire bed there, because we're about to level up and we're going into the... These are calm? Okay, we didn't even... We're going into the last fight here. We definitely want to go to the rogue trader, so I think we're pigeonholed as much as I'd like an emergency op. Ooh, they added a new art for that. Poor dude. Yeah. For now, we just add into Lopsis. What do we want? We want neural alter upgrade. We need guard voucher. Guard would be good, medic would be good, vanguard would be good. We'll see. We should have at least a couple more tries. That's a good spot for that. This do again reveals no invisible enemies. Okay. I kind of don't think invisible enemies will be the biggest issue, to be honest, but it always helps not to have to worry about something like that. This time, actually. About to say I don't want to take away attacks from Thorns. I keep saying that because I don't. But yeah, we'll see. I'm actually gonna pop Spalter up here, I think. I don't know if any come through the middle. But that. Okay, well, whatever it is, it wasn't long for the world. Seems like this might be one of the ones where they just spam you with enemies, like the slug stage. Which would be an issue if we weren't so powerful at this point. Yeah. I think her S2 could have done that too, but that is pretty funny. I think I'll probably, like, S2 I know is higher DPS. I think I'll probably just use S3 in general, though, for general fighting, just because it's a little more utility. That micro stun, ability to hit air. Alright, what do we got? Okay. He's getting 70% attack for 6 seconds after dodging. I don't think I have any dodge chance, so that's probably a non-factor. I'm taking penance. Mobile tactical hang. I mean, penance is probably better than cardigan. I am shocked at the number of defender vouchers we've gotten recently. It's been something. I wanted to try this tile last time and I didn't. You know what? Yeah. I thought about not doing that, but eh. If I thought we 100% needed Thorns to survive the next little bit, I would not have done that. But I don't think we do. The Thorns getting auto attacks in shouldn't matter too much. want this guy getting in though. Yeah, we're gonna have to hope that, especially in I think the last stage, that we get good placement on these two. I'm glad that they're separate. It would be really funny to have one super powered unit every stage, but it kind of also increases the chance that we have at least one good spot, you know? And some of the spots we've gotten, like, this was at least workable, this is not particularly helpful. You stop that. Oh, I wonder if that looked like if you CC it, it falls to the ground. That's an interesting mechanic. Oh, that drone's... Oh, it almost got in. Yeah, it looks like they fall to the ground and can be hit by ground enemies. Good to know. CC is always helpful no matter what, but that adds to the value a little bit. Yeah, we haven't really gotten a chance to show off like Aya, because we didn't get E2'd Aya. We haven't used Passenger. We haven't really used Penance, but we've got some good stuff going for us. Don't have that. Okay. I know I said what I did about Myrtle, but I think I want Neural Alter upgrade more. I mean, Neural Alter S3 is just so much DPS, it's insane. Can they shoot him from here? They can. That's really annoying because it means I need to deploy someone else immediately. Otherwise I probably would have greeted not doing something there, but yeah. Can I deploy someone here? Yeah. There's so many operators like that just on entry do just an insane amount of damage, and it makes me laugh every time. You drop the sword, it just nukes everything, and that's before she does all the DPS. Like, that's not even the scariest part about her. Oh, did both of them? Hold on. I think despite what I said, both of the tiles might have popped right there. If that was the case, I would have put my healer there. Topside might be a bit of an issue, but I could always just drop Texas on him. Like, that is ridiculous. Oh, they killed Telopsis. It's strange that we have such a high like deployment limit and we're not even using, like, it's not even a concern to have like say Penance down, like we could drop her for free, but DP was mostly just better spent on dumping Texas Alter on somebody's head. Like that. Jeez. This unit really to me just feels like a band-aid, like, it's like, oh, is that a problem? Just slap her there and she'll kill him. If it didn't work the first time, just slap her there again. Another guard's nice. I do want the guard Vanguard upgrade squad. We have 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, if we get one more, we should get it. So let's just grab... I was considering Lapland. You know what? Let's actually just grab Midnight. And that should be 5 guards or Vanguards. To be fair, we could have done the same thing with Myrtle. And it probably would have been more helpful. Fine. We still have a Rogue Trader and we have a ton of ingots. We'll probably try to donate a bunch of them if we have a donation machine, but still. Not the biggest fan of that being right there. How much damage she can do to it. Oh, she can just kill it. I'll take that. I was not expecting her to just murder that. And I think we should just... With Saga being so cheap because of the benefit that she got from that one blessing, I think we just drop her like that, in all honesty. I do think we're pigeonholed into using Texas S3 though, unless we get another sniper or caster. Granted, outside of the boss, I don't think there was that much need for like anti-air on the final boss, and we haven't found any encounter that makes me think we're going to a different ending. So we're probably just going to the base ending. We get to hear Saga yell a little bit. I hope my sound settings are okay for the stream too. I use the same sound settings I was using before, but I always get a little nervous about that. They should be able to, yeah. I was thinking about dropping Cruz there, but it gave Thorn some extra auto attacks. Oh, for some reason I still thought she was S1. I was like, why isn't Neural attacking? If I remember correctly, increase the barrier. I mean, the problem with Penance too is I feel like the only skill that's super good on her is her S3. I've messed around a little bit with S2, but that is one downside of the character. Is like, I really like 6 stars and integrated strategies that are useful regardless, and that's just not really the case with her. The cache bust open. I have no idea if we're getting anything from that. We finally got a sniper voucher. Maybe we get lucky. Let's grab this. I think Exia might be the correct choice, actually, if we don't, but... Okay. Well, coin-operated toy is good. We didn't get our... Huh. Extra hope doesn't matter. We're giving up some free attack speed by using this, but it's only coin-operated toy. It's not like it's Chalice or Chivalric Commandments, so... We might as well actually recruit another supporter just in case for that squad, I think. And I don't think we have another fight switch. Right, yeah, it's just an encounter than the final fight. Just to unlock those squads, potentially. You have a chance to obtain a random collectible. That may be combat or adventure-oriented at this point wouldn't help. Wrath of Siracusans? That's not bad. Wrath of the Siracusans, we're using Texas Altar. And she's dumpstering people. Cloud Cruise. I think we should be good. We will see, though. I mean, I think we're stronger than we were the last time. That's not the best tile placement, but... This is in the middle of nowhere. Don't know what we'll do with that. I guess we could put our medic there, actually. Not the best positioning. But... have her deal with it. Or messes up someone. Yeah, we're kind of just using Saga right now because of the perk she got as like a janky DP generator. It is absolutely not the efficient thing to do, but it's kind of what we've ended up doing. This is what, like 4 DP every time she uses that. Better than nothing. Let her overcharge that for some extra DP. We'll give Soraya some help here. I maybe should have turned her the other way. That's awkward. there's the illusion boss. The downside is I didn't put Perfumer in range of... Oh my goodness. Okay, well both of my medics just got pooped on. That's a little sketchy. Okay, the boss is taking a ton of damage from these two. Saga went down, that's fine. I'm actually going to do this just to have something take the heat. She did hit the boss there, that's interesting. I think we saved... Wow, we just burned through a ton of DP though. I think we saved Texas Alter for the instant this comes out. We have 8 lives, so we can leak a decent number of enemies as long as they're not the boss. And hopefully her CC does enough. She didn't get the last hit on that one enemy, which is a downside. Because she needs the last hit on an enemy to get her skill back up. Fine, she'll be back up in 12 seconds. And Soraya's keeping everyone else alive. Yeah, I'm a little disappointed these slots didn't give me a whole lot of usage, but what are you gonna do, you know? There's the boss down. And there's a medic back up. We should be okay from here on out. Oh, that enemy almost made it through, but... Yeah, I think the Wrath of Siracusans has to affect that initial Sword Rain burst, because that's doing a lot of damage. Yeah, to be honest, we used pretty much the exact same strategy we did last time. We did have, I mean, last time we had S3 Chalter, who survived, and we used our medics down here. I tried to make use of this town, it didn't really work. But ultimately, this seems like, for this ending, very solid strategy. Use Thorns and some kind of supplementary CC or damage and just take them down. Rosa could have worked in that bottom tile, directly to the right of the objective. But I'll take it. And that one enlightenment thing we got was pretty nice. Seems like getting dice rolls, if you get lucky, or just getting lucky in general for 6s, could be really helpful. You cannot see the Knight's story through the end. Yeah, I wonder what happens if you can bring the Knight all the way to the end. Because that guy got dumpstered. But the thing is, you get him so early on that keeping him protected the entire time has got to be pretty hard. Got another medal too. I can't imagine how we'd be able to keep that guy alive the entire time, though. Would be pretty hard. Let's see, letter of termination contract. I'm trying to remember what all of these. I know that's just getting ingots. Alright, what do we got for cognitive shaping? We've got 6. What's the fortuitous opportunity? I'd love to see what all these new nodes are. Emergency dispatch. Let's grab some actual just base stats, so that might help. What do we have for Surging Waves? So we could go to Surging Waves 1. It looks like you have to complete each one. Increases elemental damage. That, I don't think, would be a huge issue, in all honesty. Randomly obtain 1 curse collectible upon entering the 3rd floor. I don't know what the curse collectibles are. They scare me a little bit because I can feel that they're probably going to mess me up. But either way, guys, not the longest stream today. Just shy of 3 hours. I did stream for like 30 minutes before the initial crash. I think I'm going to go ahead and end the stream there on a win. Overall, I'm really enjoying IS3. We'll definitely stream some more, probably Friday, Saturday, Sunday, probably 1 or 2 of those days. Like I was saying, I mean, I'm glad to be back. I took a long break. My health's back in line, and I'm going to see what else I can find to stream. I know the new Xenoblade Chronicles 3 DLC came out a little bit ago, and it brought together, like, I know it has an older version of, like, Rex. It has, I think it's Rex and Pyra's daughter. People have always been heavily implying that Mio is Nia's daughter. I haven't gotten to play through it yet. I don't know if I'll stream it or not. I really enjoyed our Xenoblade Chronicles 3 playthrough and our 3 Hopes playthrough. I just don't know if I can get my Switch capture card to work, because I do distinctly remember I had to do some weird stuff with my OBS because it was desyncing my audio really bad. I think, in fact, if you look back at our 3 Hopes playthrough, the first, like, half of that playthrough, you listen to the audio and then listen to the game audio, not mine. It was, like, super desynced, but either way, thanks for everyone who stopped by or watched the VOD. I'll try and get more into streaming, and I will catch you guys next time. Bye.